What's up, Fantasy Champions? Spotlight Sports Network is excited to tell you about an amazing deal from Thrive Fantasy, your place for daily fantasy sports and esports. Right now, with promo code SS Network, Thrive Fantasy will match up to $50 of your first deposit. So go to thrivefantasy.com and sign up now with promo code SS Network. That's thrivefantasy.com, promo code SS Network.
Once a Raider, bruh, always a Raider, bruh. Shit simple as that. You look silver and black. Lot of bread invested in that O-line. Car insurance cost the arm and the leg to reach that goal line. It's go time.
What up, ladies and gentlemen? What up? We are back with another live stream. It is the Spotlight Raiders Talker. We're back with another live show. I am your host, Darian of the Spotlight Raiders Talk. If y'all have not seen anything, is this your first time ever being at the YouTube page? We do suggest that you subscribe, hit the bell button, and get the latest news and all Raiders news. It's been a very busy morning for me, working 2 channels. I was able to do 2 videos on my Spotlight Sports Network channel, and I was able to do this live stream for y'all. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I am here, another live stream, another more of the Raiders Talk. Thank y'all so much for tuning in, man. If it wasn't for y'all, I wouldn't be able to do these live streams every single day. So today is March 25th, 2021, and we got some up and coming, we got some news coming for y'all, man. So we're going to have a lot of talk, man. Thanks to everybody that's going to come up. Thanks to everybody that's going to do that. So let me just make sure this is all good to go here. Yeah, we're all good. We're all good to go. So we're going to get into some other streams. But before we get into the other streams, I want to say hello to everyone, to Carlos Gas, Del Jr., Hammer House, Rafael, Cindindo Ramirez, Dominique 5. The special guest, I haven't heard anything from the special guest yet. So hopefully he will come on today. If he doesn't, then it's fine. I have not heard anything in the messages from him to actually have him come onto the show, but let me check real quick and see if he responded. Albert Hernandez, B. Al, Brian Rodriguez, John Gutierrez, Cliff 82, Vinny Thomas, OG Fade, Stack, what's going on? Realist, Miguel Ruiz, Marty Warmuth, if I said that correctly, Doug, Roy, Caden, Anthony Felix, Big D, Grizz, Emmanuel, Daniel Rubio Gamarez, Big Shane. Shout out to everybody that's on here, man. Icy Nate, what's going on? Raider 87, Death Row, what's goody? So let's see if he responded back to me. So I have not heard anything from him just yet. So hopefully we will have him on. If not, then we're just going to go with the, we're just going to go with the regular show, man. We're just going to go with the regular show. Raider Rex is in the house. What's going on, Raider Rex? Justin, baby. Crowder, what's going on, Crowder K? Navy Vet 43, what's up, Nation? What's up, Nation? How y'all feeling today? Just to let y'all know, man, I am rocking Raider Nation everything. If y'all have not saw on my Instagram, this shirt is from Raider Honcho. So salute to Raider Honcho for the actual t-shirt, man. If y'all have not seen it, it says Raider Nation everything. So shout out to him, man. Shout out to him for the dope shirt, make sure y'all go to RaiderHoncho.com and make sure y'all go to SpotlightSportsGear.com. And for my moderators, make sure y'all go in the chat and put that link in the chat before I do it. Send me a free shirt. I can't send a free shirt, bro. I cannot send a free shirt, man. I'm not sending a free shirt. If you want to support the channel, you gotta purchase a shirt, man. You gotta purchase a shirt. So we're going to get into the show, man. Oh, you got the same shirt, man. This shirt is comfortable, man. This shirt is comfortable, and I'm loving everything about this shirt. But make sure y'all go over to Spot. I mean, y'all go over to Raider Honcho, go over to oaklasvegas.com, go to both of those websites and support those guys. And make sure y'all come over and support me as well on SpotlightSportsGear.com. I will be putting the link in the chat, so I'll make sure I have a pinned comment for y'all. Thank you, Icy Nate, for the link. Make sure y'all go show love to the Spotlight Radio Song. Get you a hoodie, get you a mug, get you a hat, get you a t-shirt. We got all types of accessories from cell phone cases to everything on there. Make sure y'all go check that out. And let's get straight into it, man. Let's get straight into it. I'm going to share the screen like I did yesterday. And we're going to talk about the Willie Snead situation. We're going to talk about it. And we're going to bring it up right here. The Raiders are meeting with free agent wide receiver Willie Snead. I know y'all see this, right? I know y'all see this. I'm going to make sure that y'all see it. Cool. Because if y'all don't see it, then it's going to be all good here. But this is what it says for Willie Snead. Let me make sure I have this big enough for y'all. Okay, there we go. We got this big enough for y'all. So this is what it says for Willie Snead. Now, the Raiders don't appear to be done adding wide receiver corps yet in free agency. The team has already signed John Brown to a one-year deal and brought back veteran Zay Jones. However, it's clear that Mike Mayock and John Gruden want to add more to the competition. Now, according to Adam Schefter, the Raiders are visiting with wide receiver free agent Willie Snead today, which today is Wednesday. 28-year-old receiver started 8 games with the Ravens last year, only catching 33 passes for 432 yards. Snead has spent the past 3 seasons with the Ravens, catching 126 passes, 1,422 yards, 9 touchdowns. Before that, he spent his first 4 years of his career with the New Orleans Saints and posting big numbers in 2015 and 2016. Now, Snead is primarily a slot receiver, but does have the flexibility to play outside. If brought in, he would likely be one of the backup multiple positions, but certainly would be relied upon as a starter, to be a starter. It'll be fascinating to see if the deal ends up forming here, as the Raiders would use one more proven receiver on their depth chart. Now, a grade from 1 to 10, Raider Nation, a grade from 1 to 10. How do you feel about Willie Snead right now? How do y'all feel about Willie Snead? Today is Thursday. I'm sorry. The days be getting mixed up for me and everything. From 1 to 10, how do y'all feel about Willie Snead right now? How do y'all feel about it? Okay, so y'all saying Jalen Richard would be gone. Icy Nate, you got to send that to my Instagram, Icy Nate, so I could talk about it. Send it to my Instagram. An 8? All right, so shout out to Rex for the $5 super chat. Shout out to Rex for the $5 super chat. Raider Rex just for the support. Thank you. RN4L since 1974. Wow, that's been a long time, my king. Been a long time, my guy. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. All right, so this is how I feel on this. Between a 6 and a 7. Thank you for sending it, Icy Nate. Thank you so much for sending it. But I say between a 5 and a 6 for Willie Snead. I mean, the guy has not really been that effective with Baltimore. He's been kind of injury prone, but I did see his potential when he first played with the New Orleans Saints. I think he was a good player at that time, but you got to think about it. It's Drew Brees that we're talking about. So Drew Brees usually make his wide receivers better. So I would say, I think it's a good move as far as a roster piece to come in and bring in a competition. But I mean, he does have some upside to him, but I'm not really a big fan of Willie Snead. But you just never know. Sometimes you just need a new scenery. We see what happened with Aguilar. Now he's with the Patriots. Different story, different time. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's different. It's different. So according to Icy Nate, Icy Nate has reported. Let me close this out real quick. So Icy Nate has reported from Raider Scout on Instagram, saying that the Raiders have been exploring the trade options with running back Jalen Richard. Trading or releasing Rashard saves them $3.5 million in cap space. And with the addition of Keon Drake, the role for Rashard is questionable. Chaz Ford states earlier that this year that teams were interested in Rashard in the last offseason and the last season at the trade deadline. But so there is interest there. How do y'all feel about that, ladies and gentlemen? How do y'all feel about this whole situation with Jalen Rashard? I mean, I would love to keep Jalen Rashard because I think he could catch the ball really, really well. But at the same time, I still feel like it's too deep of a backfield. It's too deep of a backfield. Keon Drake, Alec Ingold, Josh Jacobs, Theo Reddick, and trade him to get a pick or release him and get that $3.5 million in cap space. Him and Derek are the only ones left from 2016. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But at the end of the day, you got to feel like, listen, you got to do something to get cap space. But my thing is this, right? Are they really opening up cap space to go get Richard Sherman? Do we have enough cap space right now to go get Richard Sherman? Because that's been the talk for the last 2 weeks, and we have not gotten Richard Sherman. We have not heard nothing about Richard Sherman. So I'm not seeing an understanding on why should we, what are we doing there? Because I mean, we're looking at wide receivers, but we should be looking at more defensive players. That's just my opinion on the situation. So shout out to Icy Nate for the information, man. Shout out to Icy Nate for the information. Any information that does come across your way while this show is going on, Icy Nate, make sure you send it to my Instagram. If y'all have not followed me on Instagram, it's Instagram at Spotlight Raiders Talk. If you're not in the Discord, make sure you go and be in the Discord, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm going to be talking in there more with that. I'm going to be talking in there more. So make sure y'all go into it. Laker Nation, what's good? Doug S75, what's going on? I will see Trey Boston in the building. I would love to see Trey Boston too. I would love to see Trey. What's going on, Raider Gamer? What's going on? We need Brian Poole. We need a lot. The Raiders do need a lot, but at this time, we really can't do nothing. We really can't do nothing for right now. It seems like free agency has kind of slowed up for us at this time. It kind of slowed up, and hopefully we could get the best of it. Hopefully we could get the best of it. All right, let's see what's going on here. Sorry, y'all, I'm getting NBA news too. I know y'all saw the NBA deadline. I've been doing that on my second channel, which is the Spotlight Sports Network. So I've been doing NBA stuff and then trying to find all the Raiders news. Sean Johnson said, Willie Smith, what you think he's coming in for a visit is a depth piece? Yes, he will come in as a depth piece, but I just feel like, can he stay healthy? I don't know. All right, so we already know that Denzel Good has been officially signed. A lot of our offensive linemen has been officially signed. But speaking of the offensive linemen, I like this from Nick Martin. So it's a possibility. It's a possibility that veteran center Nick Martin could play guard for the Raiders if he lose the competition with Andre James. So let's bring that article up and let's see what they had to say about it on there. What's going on, Duke City Raider? Roy, what's going on? So let's bring that article up and see what they have to say about Nick Martin possibly playing guard. So this is an interesting thing here. This is very interesting. So make sure y'all go follow me on Instagram, which is Spotlight Raiders Talk. But veteran center Nick Martin could play guard for the Raiders should he lose the competition to Andre James. Now, it does say the Raiders traded Rodney Hudson. They signed former Texans center Nick Martin. One center gone, another one signed to replace him, right? Well, this is to RaidersWire.com. Well, they gave the backup center Andre James a 3-year extension, and suddenly who will be replacing Hudson at center doesn't seem so cut and dry. So they said it would appear, however, a 3-year commitment with James is some indication that they'll be given the opportunity to win the center job, despite Martin having 62 NFL starts at center in his 4-year career. Now, I'm just going to come here and compete and excited to have the opportunity, Martin said on Wednesday over a video conference call. And he does state that this is as close as an answer for Martin, who would guess what the position role will be playing with the Raiders, suggesting he's been guaranteed nothing aside from a chance to win the center job. But if it doesn't work out, James becomes here to appear to Hudson for the Raiders center job, and lining up at guard is something Martin is open to. He said, yeah, he's obviously played some guard in college and early in his career in Houston. It was kind of a flopping around a little bit there, said what Martin said. So yeah, guard is a part of my game, and whatever I could do to help this organization, I am willing to do. Martin has played some guard here and there for Texas and for Notre Dame earlier in college, but all his starts in the pros has become to center. Okay. I have no problem with this with Nick Martin. I have no problem with this with Nick Martin, and I'm going to tell y'all why. Nick Martin is the type of guy that if he wants to come out, if he loses the job to Andre James and he decides to play guard, what should we go from there? I'm happy that he's open to learning. Not really learning, but open to playing guard if he loses the job to Andre James. So that definitely help us in the guard position, no matter if it's right guard or left guard. It doesn't matter to me. I really like what he said in the article, that he's here for the opportunity to do anything to help this football team win. That's what I love about it. And I love that we could be versatile on the offensive line. I love that. Because if we're versatile on the offensive line, it's going to be hard to get around us. It's going to be hard to try to not try to get to the quarterback, because every player can play every position on the offensive line. And that's really a big thing for me being a former offensive coordinator. Offensive line, that's what makes your offense goes. If you don't have that, you don't have anything else. So I love the fact that he decides that if he does lose it out, but he's still going to compete with Andre James. He's going to compete with Andre James. And I do feel like if he does lose to Andre James, he will be good at guard. He will be good at guard. We already know the reports by Jalen Richard. We already know the reports. So let's get back into the stories that I have here. So it's another mock draft going around, right? It's another mock draft going around, and it's saying that the Raiders will select Oklahoma State offensive lineman Tevin Jenkins in the latest 7-round mock draft. Now, the mock draft that we did yesterday, that was according to justblogbaby.com. Now, this one is according to RaidersWire.com. So this mock draft might just be a little bit different. And we're going to talk about Micah Parsons. Michael Parsons running a 4.3 in his 40 in his pro day today. That was insane. So we're going to get into the mock draft. Then we're going to talk about Micah Parsons, and we're going to get into Tevin Jenkins. And let's see what they had to say here, according to RaidersWire.com. We're going to get back to that Jalen Richard thing, Duke City Raider. We're going to get back to that real quick. We're going to do that real quick. So the Raiders select Oklahoma State's offensive lineman Tevin Jenkins in the latest 7-round mock draft. With just 35 days away from the NFL 2021 NFL draft, it's become clear that the Raiders could have their first selection. After signing a premier pass rusher in Yannick Ngakoue and retaining Nicholas Morrow, it appears the Raiders are set in the front 7. Now, that leaves the offensive line as one of the one positions that is significantly an upgrade and with young talent. Now, the Raiders currently have a massive hole at right tackle, as Brandon Parker will likely fill that spot for the team if he has to play a game today. But with the deep, talented offensive line class coming into the draft, they will likely encase a few weeks from now. So it says in this recent article by Tashawn Reed of The Athletic, he did a 7-round mock draft for the Raiders after the first week of free agency. Not surprisingly, he has addressing the offensive line at 17, and the Raiders will be selecting Tevin Jenkins at right tackle from Oklahoma State. Here's a snippet of what the thoughts are, pairing him. So Tashawn Reed of The Athletic did state that this is the same pick I made for a league-wide mock draft on Tuesday. After trading Trent Brown to the Patriots, Las Vegas Raiders hasn't replaced him in free agency, so Jenkins can fill that void. He spent most of his time on the right side in his 4-year starter in college, but he's also experienced at left tackle, left guard, and right guard. And has his size. He's 6'7", 320 pounds. It has excellent footwork to pair with his strength and ideally steps in the day one starter of the offensive line. And Jenkins primarily played at right tackle, but could play aside Reed as mentioned. He is dominant run blocker and plays ton with power, which John Gruden absolutely loves. After the top 3 offensive tackles, which is Sewell, Slater, and Darryl Shaw, Jenkins has the upside to be a Pro Bowl left tackle in time. Jenkins is along with Alabama's Alex Leatherwood and Notre Dame's Liam Inchabird are likely to be Mike Mayock's radar at number 17. Given how pressing of a need it is, look for the Raiders to go offensive line early in this draft. Now, how do y'all feel about that? How do y'all feel about that according to their mock draft? I'm really big on Tevin Jenkins. I'm really big on him because I know it's some top offensive guards, but the fact that he plays some right guard, some left guard, some left tackle, that's why I said versatile players are the best players. Like those type of players, he's 6'7", 390, and he's solid. He's solid, and I love it. I love it, the fact that we didn't go replace Trent Brown, knowing it's still some offensive alignment that we could go in free agency to replace Trent Brown. But the question is, what is the money? What is the money that we're actually going to get for these players? That is my biggest thing there. That is my biggest issue. Because, Eric Fisher's still out there. Swartz is still out there. And why the Raiders have not gone out and get those guys on a 1-year deal? Good tackles are hard. Don't get me wrong. Good tackles are hard to find. But in my personal opinion, I feel like if Vera Tucker is not there either, I think Tevin Jenkins is a little bit better than Vera Tucker, in my opinion. Vera Tucker is a monster, but so is Jenkins. Jenkins is just a monster too. Well, I mean, Fisher and Swartz is injured, but even though that they're injured, I wouldn't mind bringing them in as a depth piece. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't mind bringing them in as a depth piece. But we need as much depth. You see what happened this past year with the Raiders when it came down to offensive alignment going down. We had to deal with Sam Young and Brandon Parker, where Sam Young was getting beat every single down. If Fisher's not ready, then Swartz would be ready. Swartz would definitely be a depth piece because we got killed last year, and that's why Josh Jacobs' average per rush went down, because our offensive line, we didn't have our full offensive line all year. We always had to mix and match, but Tom Cable did a great job. Of doing it. So yeah, why not? Thank you, Carlos. Sam Young needs to go. Absolutely. Sam Young needs to go. What's going on, Michelle? What's going on, Michelle? What's going on? Thank you for tuning into the chat. We really do appreciate all the love and the support from the Raider Nation, man. It's not really much news out there when it comes to the Raiders. So this might not be a 2-hour show. It might not be a 2-hour show, depending on if we get, those spammers and those weird people in here again. So I don't know. I'm not going to do phone calls today. I'm going to do what we did yesterday, and that's through StreamYard. Send Young to the Whiners. Yeah, I can see that. Exactly. 100 and something likes, 100 people in the chat with 36 likes. Hit that like button, y'all. Hit that like button. Ricky said, thanks for the $4.99 super chat. Ricky 7 says, thanks for all you do for the nation, bro. Go Raiders. Thank you so much, my guy. Sneed, he in Vegas. Yes, Willie Sneed is visiting the Raiders, y'all. Tim says, what do you think about Willie Sneed visiting the Raiders? I did do that in my first topic of today. I did do that in my first topic of the day. So I did like it. I did like it, but we just got to see what he could do. He's definitely going to be a depth piece. Definitely going to be a depth piece. All right, so shout out to Claude Suda on Facebook. He says, what grade do you give the Raiders free agency so far? Me personally, I give the Raiders free agency so far. I'm only giving them I'm giving them a B minus. I'm giving them a B minus, and because we have not really addressed anything in the secondary just yet. That's the only reason why I'm giving them a B minus. I love how they addressed the defensive line. I really love how they addressed the defensive line. I love how they addressed the offensive line because at the time, I was confused. I did not know what we were going to do with Rodney Hudson. I do not understand what we were going to do with Gabe Jackson after they got traded, but I see that we brought Good back. We brought Incognito back. We brought we extended Andre James. We brought in Nick Martin. So I'm not really too bad what they did with the offensive line. I think it's still more that needs to be done with the offensive line. But I say B minus. B minus, I have to say. Definitely a B minus. Did you go over what your twin said? Who? Who, Michelle? You talking to me? You talking to me, Michelle? Mm-hmm. Yeah, B minus. B minus for sure. The Bills might sign Matt Breida. We don't need no more running backs anyway. So I'm not really interested in Matt Breida. I'm not interested in that. FTB, he's a slug. Well, y'all want me to make these baby Trent Brown t-shirts, man. I'm waiting for the logo to be done, man. That's all I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for the logo to be done. And once that logo is officially done, then we could go from there. Scotland in the house. Yes, Trent Brown. Oh, LOL, you're a twin. I know. People say I don't look. I got some people that say I don't look like baby Trent Brown, y'all. Who's better, Ingram or Nicholas Morrow? Good question. I love Melvin Ingram's talent. I think he was one of the best when healthy. But when he's not healthy, it's Nicholas Morrow. I haven't really seen Nicholas Morrow miss games due to injury. So, Anthony, right now, I would take an experienced Nicholas Morrow that's going to know this system and that is a veteran on his defense, then taking Melvin Ingram. Melvin Ingram, if he can stay healthy, I would say Melvin Ingram. But right now, it's Nicholas Morrow for me. He said he wasn't happy in Vegas. I don't know about that. We have enough for Drake and Josh. Okay. Trent Brown talked too deep into the brother with Willie Snead is trash. I don't think he's trash. I just think he was just a bad football team. I don't think he's trash. I think he's a person that comes in and compete, but I wouldn't say he's trash. I see more trash receivers out there in free agency that got signed before Willie Snead. So we're not going to even do that. I would say right now, I would say Morrow. I would say Morrow. The best ability is availability. Thank you, George. Thank you, George. The best ability is availability. And that's why I say Nicholas Morrow, because Melvin Ingram is not available. We don't know what his injury is either. I think Willie Snead. I think Willie Snead is pretty good, in my opinion. I think he's pretty good. I think he's a guy that could come in and compete against a Zay Jones and a Renfro and John Brown and give those guys a run for their money. Why not? We need competition in training camp this year. Hopefully, we'll get a training camp this year because I really want us to see who are really the best players that we can put on this 55-man roster and have the best 55 men out there on the sideline. That's what I want to see. I want to see competition, and I really want to see the training camp like they used to do back in the day. I know COVID and everything messed it up for last year, but I really want the Raiders to have a training camp so we can see on TV what we're getting with this Raiders team. Maybe Gus Bradley believes that he likes the secondary we got. What do you think about picking up Trey Boston? I say this every day about Trey Boston. I don't mind it. If he's going to come in and fill in a piece, I don't mind it. because he got that, that connection with Gus Bradley, so I'm not really mad at it. I'm not mad at it. Why not? Why not? I like Trey Boston. I think he's going to be the cheapest safety out there out of all of them that's available. Morrow is a hybrid safety playing at linebacker, but he plays well at linebacker. Darion Payne would be lit. Yes, Darion Payne will be lit. Actually, I did a video on the Raiders trading for Darion Payne. So just imagine the Washington football team kind of needs a running back in this point. So think about it. Washington football team get in the conversation of getting Jalen Richard, and we get Darion Payne. I did a video on it because at the time I did it with Marcus Mariota getting traded and getting Daron Payne. I love Daron Payne. Daron Payne is a great player. I loved him on that defensive line for the Washington football team. I loved it. Definitely loved it. Spotlight, be honest with you. Think we're going to get a secondary player in some of these days or in the draft? If we don't get none in free agency at all, it looks like Mike Mayock and John Gruden is going to be going into the draft. That's what it's going to look like. It's like they're going to really look into the draft. What do I think about Tashawn Gibson, safety from the Bears? He plays free safety, and he played that in Jacksonville with Gus Bradley. If the Raiders only going out in free agency to go get a free safety or go get a veteran secondary player, it's all speculation right now. That's the only thing. What's going on, Mari? Mari, thank you for coming, a new subscriber to the Spotlight Raiders Talk. Morrow can't cover, but he's decent backup. He's fast, though. I mean, obviously, he had a couple interceptions last year. He had a couple interceptions last year, so that's not a problem. You're comparing Snead to other average wide receivers. Who would take Snead or Corey Davis, who signed with the Jets? Well, Corey Davis is off the board. I'm talking about who's available. Who is really available that's a great wide receiver right now? Like Nicholas Federico, you come in here worrying about wide receiver, but we have so many wide receivers on the roster. Our number one is Darren Waller, and that's something that you're going to be failed to realize, man. Waller is our number one. Brian Edwards can be a number one. I would love to bring in a veteran wide receiver, but the veteran wide receivers that I wanted is gone. So you just got to deal with it, bro. You just got to deal with it. Don't we have Gus free safety? No, I don't think so. Keeping 100, Gruden Gruden is not getting the job done. Stop letting him slide year after year. I don't let him slide. Whoever this is, I don't let him slide. If anybody know me in here, and I know that you're probably a Patriots fan, ain't easy. Anybody that knows me in here, I always get on John Gruden. And this is how I know. Raider Nation, and y'all been in here since I've been doing live play-by-plays and reactions. Put the number 10 in the comments. Put the number 10 in the comments how many times I got on Gruden. I never let John Gruden slide. Never let John Gruden slide. Make sure y'all put the number 10 in the comments. Put the number 10 in the comments. Put 10 in the comments right now, and y'all know darn well I go at the John Gruden every chance I get. Every chance I get. I've been roasting Gruden since he got here. I've been roasting him since he got here. Don't put it in the comments on Instagram, Jay Alvarez. Put it in the chat here. Don't send it to me on Instagram, bro. Oh, 10 plus. Vinny Thomas 10 plus. Oh, snaps, man. So at 4:30, we're gonna have people come up here on StreamYard. I always blame Gruden because Gruden is just dumb, man. Gruden is dumb. He's dumb when he does certain things. I'm not saying he's a bad coach. What I'm saying is that he could be better. He just got to get with the program. We're not in that old school stage of football anymore, which I don't mind running it down the throat. I don't mind that. But sometimes you gotta emphasize, man. You gotta open up that playbook and give it some gadgets, give it something to make the defense confused. Because sometimes the offense can be very, very predictable. Right, he could definitely get better. I just feel like he needs to look at today's football and look at the game film on how a lot of these offenses now confuses a lot of these defenses. That's why a lot of defenses, even though we scored 30 plus points a game, which I have no issue with that. I have no issue with that. But what I do know is that he needs to be more creative in the offensive field. He needs to be more creative there. Run the ball up the middle on first down every freaking time, realist. Every time. Surprisingly, sometimes I said, oh yeah, it would be a play action on first down. So they won't make it predictable. But he only do it one time. What's going on? Slow-mo Brown University. What's going on, man? John Gruden only made the playoffs twice in his career in 11 years. Mari, you're right. Really didn't make sense for us to sign Kenyon Drake. What do you think? It made sense. It made sense to sign Kenyon Drake. I don't understand why the Raider Nation don't understand why I don't understand it. Look at Josh Jacobs. Has Josh Jacobs played a full 17 games? Has he played a full 17 games or 16 games? No. He has not played a full 16 games. We need a guy that could do both. That could run the ball up the middle and catch the ball at the backfield. And Kenyon Drake does that. Drake does that. Claude said, you always throwing Gruden record out there. He's an average head coach. I think he's below average. I think he's a below average head coach, in my opinion. It's my opinion. Carr has 2 winning seasons, 12-4 and 8-7 last season. Well, we was 8-8 last season. But you can't blame that just on Carr. It's a team effort. You just can't blame that on Carr. Thank you, Eddie Linto. Eddie Linto said it himself. 7-9 to 8-8. You don't get there if you're sabotaging or stuck in the old school. That is your point. It's not the Raider Nation that doesn't like the media. We don't like the media because the media don't see things that what we see it from our perspective. That's why I do what I do here on this channel. This is why I do what I do here on this channel, because of what the media says. I think he's a below average coach. I don't think he's a good coach. He's a below average coach. Sign Richard Schwartz from KC. That's what I want. I think he's a good. No, I'm siding with Carr. He went 8-7. Oh, okay. I get what you're saying. I'm sorry. Our offense was top 10. Even though the offense was top 10, he still makes bad decisions. We're top 10, not in the playoffs. Understand about the defense, but even though our offense was top 10, he's very predictable. We played against teams that didn't have good defenses, like the Jets. The Jets defense was not that good. Let's be real, Anthony. Let's be real. Some defenses that we played was not that good. The Chiefs, even though they got a high-power offense, they was exposed on the defensive side. They were exposed because we exposed them. But let us play a top 5 defense against that predictable offense. You see what happened when we played the Buccaneers. You see what happened. We was too predictable against the Buccaneers, and they shut us down. Numbers don't have to lie, but when we play against good defenses, we're not that good offensively. We're not that good offensively against top 5 defenses. And the Buccaneers was a great defense. They was a great defense, and they knew everything that we were doing. That's why they kicked our ass like that this year. That's why. When it goes up against top defenses, John Gruden does not know how to adjust. He gets out-coached. He gets out-coached by defensive coordinators that have great defenses. I've seen it happen. Even before this tender, even back then, it was the same thing. No different. Who is good against top 5 defenses? Depending on your offense. Because if you see what the Buffalo Bills did, what Kansas City did against Buffalo Bills defense, with Buffalo defense was a top 5 defense in this league. If you have a great offense, you can exploit a good defense. Tell you that right now. It's about a game of chess. It's not checkers. They figured the bit once you get figured out, as a offensive mind you. I used to coach as an offensive coordinator, and I had to go up against good defenses in high school. I had to do it. So, in my opinion, if I am an offensive coordinator and they're figuring out what we're doing, as an offensive play caller, I have to make adjustments. And that is the problem with John Gruden. He sticks with what he knows and does not make adjustment and makes him look conservative. You can't do that. Even though it doesn't matter, numbers don't lie. It doesn't matter if you're top 10. If you cannot make adjustments on the fly, that is an issue. You got to learn how to make adjustments on the fly. And that's the biggest thing. If you can't make like me, I always make sure if they counter with this play or they counter with this play, I have this in my back pocket. Oh, let's throw something different that they've never seen before. What kind of offense did I run? I ran heavy. I ran spread. I ran pistol. I formation if needed. I formation was not my number one formation. Pistol was my number one formation. No, I'm talking about as an offensive coordinator, realist. As an offensive coordinator, we already knew that Gutner could not make adjustments on defense. We knew this already. But out of high school, I ran pistol, I ran spread. Sometimes I ran 2 tight ends at the goal line, depending on if it was needed. Yeah, I love the pistol, man. I think the pistol will work so good in the NFL, but nobody runs the pistol in the NFL. I think the pistol will be very effective. Very effective. But the pistol has to, but the thing about it is about the Ravens offense, Icy Nate, you got to have a good quarterback to run the pistol. And people said Lamar Jackson's he's an MVP and anything of that nature, but you got to have a quarterback that can throw in the pistol. We Raiders fans, Michelle, we getting disappointed since 2002. Pistol in high school, that's very, yes, because you know why? I kind of simplify the offense, but like as far as play calling, how to call the plays, I simplified it. I didn't make it seem like Y2 banana split and all that stuff like Gruden does. But I don't get paid $100 million to make calls. I don't get paid $100 million to make calls. Spotlight, keep it a buck. Ever since Gruden stepped in our team, has gotten better. We was better with Jack Del Rio. With Jack, we improved every year. Yes, I can agree with that. Yes, Gruden has made the team better. But I just need for him to be more aggressive when it's needed. If you have a mobile quarterback, you're trying to win the game, you have to go for it on 4th down and overtime. It's just some things you just have to do. If I was the offensive coordinator for the Raiders, I wouldn't have told Josh Jacobs to slide at the goal line. Think about it. I wouldn't tell Josh Jacobs to slide at the goal line. I wouldn't do it because I understand that he didn't want to put the defense back. He wanted to put the defense back out there, but you know, But this is nothing new. Gruden's been doing it. Gruden's been making these conservative play calls since he's been here. I'm not saying he's a bad coach, but he does make some bad freaking calls when it mattered. If we would have won that Chargers game in week 13, we still would have had at least a slight chance to get into the playoffs. And he screwed that for us. Jack Del Rio's not better than Gruden, but Jack Del Rio has a better record than Gruden in his tenure here. I'm just saying. Until we can say and I don't want to talk about the past John Gruden. We're talking about right now, because this is where John Gruden ended up taking Del Rio's job. Del Rio took this team to 12-4 in his second year with the Raiders. John Gruden has not done that yet. Well, he's in his fourth year with us. He does not have double-digit wins. Sorry. Jack Del Rio gave us double-digit winning season. Gruden has not done that in his new tenure. Has not. We're not talking about back in 2002. We're talking about the last 3 years he's been here. He has not given us double-digit wins. In that second year, Jack Del Rio was here. He got us to 12-4. Only reason why Jack Del Rio lost his job is because he fired Bill Musgrave, which I think it was a dumb move. Drake in the Wildcat formation. I would put Keon Drake and Josh Jacob in the pistol formation, honestly, if I'm the OC. We're not talking about back in the day. Please stop talking about 2002. And this is the problem with all right, I'm gonna be very serious with y'all. Can we stop talking about 2002? We could have won 6-10, but we didn't. So it don't matter. We could have won 6-10, but we didn't go 6-10. I'm just saying, can we stop talking about 2002? And I'm just being real, Raider Nation. People say, oh, stop talking about 2016. 2016 is more closer to 2021 than 2002 is. So let's get to this before I say something. Shout out to Robert Rangel for the $10 donation. He just say, hey, Spotlight, I seen mock drafts that had Devontae Smith sliding all the way to the Raiders. Would you draft him if he was there or focus on the defense? I'm also a big fan of your content. Thank you so much for the $10 donation, Robert. Thank you so much. We really do appreciate that. Honestly, I wouldn't go get Devontae Smith at 17. I think we should go what's needed. Wide receiver is not needed in the draft. It's not. Go what we need. And need is a defense. That is the need. The need is defense and offensive line. I don't think we need to go get any other skilled players. I don't think we need to get any other skilled players, in my opinion. So I don't see that at all. I would love to have Devontae Smith if we needed it, but we don't need it. But thank you for the $10 super chat. Really do appreciate that, bro. Really do. Ray Love, what's going on, Ray? Let me get it. Let me get some water real quick, because I've been talking with y'all. All right, so Jack didn't have Rio. Gus Bradley ran the same system, 4-3 under cover 3. Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all this right now. Raider Nation. Yes, loyal to the soil. Yes, loyal to the soil. I did hear about Willie Snead coming back. I did hear about Willie Snead visiting the Raiders. I did hear about that. But let's be honest here, y'all. Let's just be realistic here. Can we stop talking about 2002? Let's talk about what John Gruden's doing right now. What has John Gruden done right now? I don't want one-win improvements. I need double-digit improvements. I feel like we need to be taken seriously. And we're not being taken seriously because of what John Gruden is doing. We're not being taken seriously. They think that we're a damn joke. They think that we're a damn joke. We're not, though. But we need to be taken seriously. Definitely need to be taken seriously. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And they think John Gruden as head coach is a joke. Right, he has been nothing but disappointment. I'm sorry. When you get paid $100 million, you should come in and make an immediate impact. Jack Del Rio damn near didn't get that. I'm sorry, but it has to be more than, it has to be double-digit wins for John Gruden or he's on the hot seat. I cannot see us having 7 wins again or 8 wins. That's not enough. So is Andy Reid a better coach because it took him 22 years to win it? It takes a long time to build. Let me tell you something, Bial. Let me tell you something. Andy Reid is a better coach than John Gruden, and I'm gonna tell you why. Everywhere Andy Reid went, he was a winner, no matter if he won the Super Bowl or not. He was a winner. He'd been to the Super Bowl once before. He'd been to the Super Bowl once before he went to the Kansas City Chiefs. He took the Philadelphia Eagles to 5 NFC championships. 5. No matter where Andy Reid goes, he's great. That is the difference between John Gruden and Andy Reid. John Gruden can't go everywhere and win, but Andy Reid can. That's the difference. I'm sorry, he's a better coach than Gruden. And I'm saying it from not being a Raiders fan, not being a Chiefs hater. I'm saying it as an analyst and seeing what I see. It doesn't matter. No matter where Andy Reid goes, I follow, mind you, I live in Philadelphia. It's not all about the Super Bowl. It's not all about the Super Bowl because there's some coaches in the Hall of Fame that does not have a Super Bowl. He made Donovan McNabb a great quarterback in Philadelphia. He made Alex Smith a good quarterback when he was with Kansas City. It doesn't matter. I'm saying this as a football fan. I'm not saying it as a Raiders fan. I'm not saying it as a Chiefs hater. I'm saying it as a football fan, NFL fan. Andy Reid can make quarterbacks. He can make quarterbacks when he drafted them. Everybody got mad at Andy Reid. Oh my God, me living in Philadelphia right now, y'all don't understand. They hated the Donovan McNabb pick. They hated it. The Eagles fans was livid here. It doesn't matter who won a Super Bowl first. At the end of the day, no matter where Andy Reid goes, he makes the team better. That is a difference between Andy Reid and John Gruden. I don't get me wrong, John Gruden is my coach. John Gruden is my coach, but I just feel like Andy Reid knows how to get with the information that's going on with today's offenses. Even though Andy Reid is up there in age, he's like, listen, we got to upgrade this offense. And that's the difference between John Gruden and Andy Reid. John Gruden has to upgrade his offense. Sorry, I had to fix my chair again. It doesn't matter how many times have Andy Reid took the Kansas City Chiefs to the playoffs? How many times he took the Eagles to the playoffs? He even went to the playoffs and won a Super Bowl in Green Bay as an assistant coach. Andy Reid is a better coach than John Gruden. Sorry to say. Y'all can say what he want, but I watched him in Philadelphia for all these years that he was here in Philadelphia. I respect that man. Even though I don't like the Chiefs, but look what he's doing with the Chiefs. That's real. That's real. No matter where he goes, he makes a team better. That's the difference between Andy Reid and John Gruden. That is the difference. Even though Gruden won one with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but look how many winning seasons he's had after that Super Bowl win. Look it up. How many wins did John Gruden have after that Super Bowl win in 2002? I'll wait. So that John Gruden talk is there. John Gruden talk is always going to be there. It's always going to be there. Only reason why we having these kind of talks, because I'm gonna let people on at 4:30, which is 4:26. Tackle at 17 is a big need. So yeah, it is. It is. Let's draft Azi Ojulari, linebacker from Georgia. He could prove our defense in many ways. He is a better coach, but he's still our cause because he's with the Queefs. Listen, when the Eagles fired him, the Chiefs took a chance on him. Andy Reid was already. Andy Reid could have retired. He didn't have to take the Kansas City Chiefs. He didn't have to take that job, but he did. And he found that team finally got him over the hump. That's why I can't be mad. Call the cops. John Gruden is stealing money. Yes. Yes, Uncle Joe. Yes, Uncle Joe. I will send a link in a minute. All right, so Art D-Line said, if Gruden isn't enough for you, who would you want to replace him? Eric Bieniemy. Because if you notice, a lot of people come from the Andy Reid tree and do good. And I'm going to tell you one of them. Even though that he's not the Eagles coach anymore, but Doug Peterson comes from the Andy Reid tree in Kansas City and in Philadelphia. Came into Philadelphia and won them a Super Bowl in 2017. That comes from the Andy Reid tree. You can't tell me any real successful coach that came under John Gruden and won a Super Bowl. What coach under the John Gruden pedigree or John Gruden tree that won a Super Bowl? Tell me. Big Shane, who's taking your comments down? Are you cursing or anything? Gruden came from Andy Reid. No, Gruden and Andy Reid came from Mike Holmgren. Gruden was never under Andy Reid. So what's the difference? That's closest to Sean McVay, yeah. Sean McVay had a little bit of experience with Andy Reid. Right. He really just said that, loyal to the soil. He just said that. First round offensive tackle. I don't know what's going on with this chair. Give me a second. Chair's weird. I'm going to get me a new gaming chair, though. I'm going to invest in a better gaming chair. Me trying to be cheap. No, we're not going wide receiver into the third round. McVay came under Gruden, but have not won a Super Bowl. He got there, but didn't win a Super Bowl. But you got to think about it, too. Who got a better offense right now, John Gruden or Sean McVay? Just joking, y'all. Just joking. I'm curious, D, since you're my age, but in Philly, what made you become a Raiders fan? What made me become a Raiders fan? Yes, I was born and raised in Philadelphia. But as a young kid, every summer I used to go to Oakland. And every summer I used to go to Oakland, and I have family out there that are diehard Raiders fans. And every summer I'll be out in Oakland. I'll be out in Oakland for the whole summer. And I had no choice to be a Raiders fan. Even though I lived in Philly, I was never an Eagles fan. I love my Phillies, I love my Flyers, and I love my Sixers. But it was just something about them Eagles that I could not stand. Could not stand at all. And yeah, I gotta buy me a better loose game. I gotta buy me a better gaming chair. But I told my mom that I wanted to move out there. I told my mom that I wanted to move out to Oakland to see how the living would be out there at a young age. So when at a young age, I moved to Oakland and lived out there for 4 years. And that's when I fell in love with the Raiders. My uncles used to watch Raiders history from back in the 60s, in the 70s, and the history that comes with the Raiders. Every football team I played for, I wore these colors, and it was Raiders. So it gravitated to me how hard that I played on the football field and how hard they played on the football field. So I can't say I was born a Raider fan, but the Raiders team came to me. They resonated with me. And I could not go home saying I'm an Eagles fan. I couldn't go when I moved back to Philly. I couldn't do it. I couldn't say I was an Eagles fan. I end up watching all Raider, with the original NFL films with Steve Sable. I used to watch so much Raiders stuff on Steve Sable on NFL films. I fell in love. And I've been a Raiders fan ever since. Ever since I was a little kid. And I can say about 10 years old. 10 years old. I've been a Raiders fan. And nobody could tell me nothing. Nobody could tell me a damn thing because I know my history. Because I did my history. Living in Oakland. Was not able to go to a game in Oakland because I was still young at the time. But still. My family all over the West Coast love some Raiders. No matter where they go, to Las Vegas, they go to Oakland, or they go to Los Angeles. They was Raiders fans for life. They would travel anywhere the Raiders would go. Same thing here. I'm planning to travel this season. I am planning to travel this season to have I'm going to the New York Giants game. I'm going to the Pittsburgh Steelers game. Hopefully, I'm going to the Baltimore game. I would even travel from Philly to Las Vegas to go see the Las Vegas Raiders beat up on the Philadelphia Eagles this year. It's part of the Raider Nation, baby. It's part of the Raider Nation. Hold on, y'all. Give me a second. All right, so here we go. I am going to put the link in the chat. If you want to come up and talk to your boy, the link is right there, ladies and gentlemen. The link is right there. Great story, Raiders all day. Thank you so much, Michelle. Thank you so much, Michelle. I really do appreciate it. All right. Y'all, I got to get back to the grind. Much love, spotlighting Raiders fans. Thank you, Albert, for coming through. Thank you, Albert, for coming through. Really do appreciate it, man. My lunch over, bro. Be safe. Okay. Iso Cali stream. Thank you so much. Cool story, man. Thank you, man. Thank you. I think we weed them out. I think we weed out the trolls, man. I think we weed out the trolls. But they're going to try to find me through a spam account. So just let y'all know, I did put the link in the chat. If y'all want to come up and talk to your boy. I don't want to put a number up there yet. What's going on, Leon? Leon Johnson, what's up, man? What's going on with you? Shout out to my boy Raider Honcho for the shirt, man. Shout out to my boy Raider Honcho for the shirt. I really do appreciate y'all a lot, man. I really do, man. It's just been a humbling feeling the way this channel has grown every single day. But right now, we are 3 away, y'all. We are 3 away from... I don't know why it's saying that. That's weird. All right, so here we go. Give me 1 second here. But yeah, we are here, y'all. Make sure y'all come on up. Make sure y'all come on up. Oh, driving, bro. Should we sign Ha Clinton Dix? Yes. Yes, I think we should sign Ha Clinton Dix. Uncle Joe, we waiting for you, bro. Yo, Graphk Raider is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Graphk Raider is in the building. Shout out to my boy Docs ENT. Make sure y'all go to oaklasvegas.com. Go get you some merch. I just got that dope hoodie yesterday. Make sure y'all go show some love to him. Shout out to my guy, man. Salute, man. Once a Raider, bro, always a Raider, bro. That's how it is. But I definitely got to put that new song on the show, man. I got to put that new song on the show. But we got my boy Uncle Joe in the building. What's up, man?
What's up, baby? Raider Nation, baby. What's happening?
Raider Nation, my guy. What's up with you, man?
What's happening, man? You know, hey, man, I'm just troubled by how we just spend so much money and we don't get no production out of nobody. They, you know what I'm saying, they come and get a bag. It's like they come to us for retirement or something, and you know what I'm saying, come get a bag. They don't have no kind of talent. You know, and I'm sick of it, man. You know what I'm saying? I've been a Raider fan since 1988, man. It's just you know, it's just, you know what I'm saying, it wears down on you sometimes, but you know, it's still my squad, man. You know, and I love them, but it's like a bad wife. You know what I'm saying? She keep on doing the same thing over and over and over, and I'm like, man, I'm just, you know, I want us to have a winning season, man, and you know what I'm saying, build a winning culture that that, you know what I'm saying, that we in this big old stadium and in a beautiful city and everything, but you know, we can't bring that trash nowhere like that. You know what I'm saying? We playing like we just some kind of varsity league or something, like, you know what I'm saying? Nobody don't want to tackle, nobody don't want to catch the ball at the right times, and you know, it's you know, sometimes I just turn the TV off sometimes, man. You know, it's sad, man. It's sad. You know, but you know, we're gonna get it right though. You know what I'm saying? It's Raider Nation for life. You know, but you know, we got to have production out of these people, man. These people come in and get these millions of dollars and they spending money and cutting them. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, you get Trent Brown all that money, he don't even play. You know, and what, you know what I'm saying? What is it for? You know, you bringing people in that is basically like, you know, they, you know, I guess they come in there and they say the right things to John Gruden and, you know what I'm saying, peppering him up or whatever, and they get that bag and they gone, man. You know, and they go out there half step, and every time the defense ain't never been top 10 in my knowledge. They've never been top 10 like sometimes like the Ravens or the you know what I'm saying, the Steelers or something like that. We always chasing after these free agents. We can't develop nobody. It's a messed up feeling, man. For you know, I got to go out here defending my team to all my homeboys and family. And man, y'all ain't gonna do nothing, you know. And I'm out here begging, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, that the production on the field ain't right, man. You know, you got to go out there. If y'all professional football players, act like it. You know, you act like you're getting paid for it. Act like it. You know, so that's the only thing I say about it.
Facts. I can agree with a lot that you're saying. And don't get me wrong, I would love to come in and get some free agents that's not going to break the bank for us. And, you know, we can save some of that cap space for draft or something later on in the year if we need something, God forbid, because, you know, it's all about, you know, injuries happen in football. So even if we have cap space to go out and get somebody during the season, I wouldn't mind that, but I don't see us breaking the bank for any veteran out there. And that's just me. I mean, Richard Sherman, if he wants $10 million, I'm moving on from him. I would love to have Sherman just because of him know how to nip the corners in the bud, because they feel like they just high power right now. He could bring them back to let them eat some humble pie. So I'm bringing Sherman in, but if he wants too much money, I'll move on from him. That's the only thing.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind, for real though. I wouldn't mind bringing Earl Thomas in. You know what I'm saying? But they
Mhm.
they said that he got a bad attitude or whatnot. I think he'll make that, that secondary back there, a force to be reckoned with. If you come in and really want to work,
Right.
but if you don't really want to work, by your body language or how you come into the facilities or something, that, it's a no go. I'm not gonna give you no $5 million, no, no 2 year, 30 million or something like that. I'm not gonna, I
Right.
wouldn't do it for the GM, but man,
Even though he's saying that he think he got like 2 years left in him, I still
yeah,
wouldn't give him that much. I still wouldn't do it.
no, I wouldn't give him that much. You know what I'm saying? He's not worth that much. So I would give him a 1 year deal, maybe
Mhm.
about 9 million. You come in, you help out John Abram back there and show him the work, show him the ropes and get it how to get in out of his breaks and stuff like that, because it's like he out there, he don't look nothing like he was in college. He look like he out there missing tackles. That's the only thing I be hating, man. They be out there missing tackles. They hand tackling. They don't grab they grabbing at jerseys. Man, y'all supposed to be professional athletes, man. Y'all do this at practice every day, and y'all sit out here and they stink up the joint. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, it's just it's crazy, man. Like, man, you expect these dudes to be the Raiders, the real Raiders, like the old, like how you say, like the old school, like you said, the old school films and stuff. I think they need to go back and look at some of that stuff. Not the violent hits and all that, but the
I
intensity, how they was
agree.
playing, how they
I
was
agree.
playing.
I agree 100%. I feel like they need to go look at what's the mentality of wearing that silver and black. That
Yes,
history of wearing that silver and black. They think people, oh yeah, you coming in, you getting paid, cool. But you need to know once you put these colors on, it
you're
means
right.
business.
Yes,
It
yes,
means business. And I think we got away from that, even though, like I say, don't dwell on the history, but at the same time, you got to understand it's an expectation where you will put on
yes,
that silver and black. It's an expectation for you when you come into this building.
yep.
You think
So
you're
you
gonna
gotta
come
be
up
a
in
winner.
here and just do what you want to do? No. And that's why I feel like people think I get on John Gruden so much, but I missed the Gruden from 2002 when he had a
Yeah.
nonchalant attitude, when he didn't give a two shits about the NFL. Now he's
Oh,
gotten soft. And that's what makes me mad about John Gruden. He was an aggressive
hey,
play
bro.
caller back then. He took chances. Now
Yeah,
it's like he's being controlled.
yep. Like they tell you not to do this and not to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like not to run the
Exactly.
ball hard. Some games they was running the ball hard and they were throwing down the field and everything. And then some games they start, he started lollygagging and call these little nickel and dime plays. They get 5 yards, kick the ball. It wasn't like they was playing to win. Sometimes it was like they were just playing to, just be relevant and something like that. But like you watch other teams, like I go back and watch other teams play calls sometimes. It's like like how you talk about Andy Reid. Andy Reid is very aggressive. He's
Right.
very aggressive.
He's going to go for it on fourth down if
He's
the game is
going.
on the
He's
line. He's going to
going.
go for it.
He's going for it. If it's a chance for them to win and throw it down the field, if it's like how we lost to them, it was what 3rd and 13 or something. You
Right.
know, instead of them like punting the ball or now they was at field goal range, they went for the bomb and they caught it. He went for the bomb and caught it, and that was the game over. Game over. So that's why we worry about our O line. We need to be worried about the secondary and those cornerbacks because those dudes, I mean, they look straight trash. You know what I'm saying? Arnett, he looks like he should have been like a 3rd or 4th rounder. I don't know who told them to draft that man in the 1st round. That was a bum move right there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He has potential, but he don't know how to tackle. He tackles with his head. He's a liability out there. You know what I'm saying?
But
And
do you think that goes with coaching too? Because a lot of cornerbacks in this league really don't know how they know how to tackle, but they really don't know how to tackle. And I think it goes off of coaching.
But when he hit Gore, when he went that was the second time he did that. When he hit Gore and got that concussion at the Jets, that's the
Mhm.
second. He got a habit of putting his head down. You can't unteach that. You can't
You
unteach
you
that.
you
He
can't
got
you
a
can't
habit.
unteach that, but do you remind as he like I said before, I used to coach. And even with my defensive coordinator, I don't care if they don't know how to tackle or not. Every day is being taught how to tackle properly.
How to tackle. Yes.
It's being taught. Even though that they're not doing it on the field, that's something that as a coach, you have to address them. Like, listen, keep your goddamn head up.
That's it.
I don't care how much millions that you getting paid to play this game. Keep your damn head up. Do you want to play for 15 years? Keep your damn head up.
Exactly.
And that's where you see how that aggression came out. That would definitely help somebody. Okay, I need to keep my head up, or my coach is going to get in my ass.
Wrap up. Keep your head up. Wrap up. Look for your brothers to come in and help you with the tackle. If it's a big guy like a Gore or something, hold him. You know what I'm saying? Get him down by the ankles. You know what I'm saying? He's not a big corner. That's one thing I'm thinking. We need to go after like a Horn. You know what I'm saying? The dude Horn, he's a big corner. That he's from South Carolina. But he's a little grabby too. I've been watching. He's a little grabby too. But it's not really like no A1 corner in this draft. I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? It's about two of them. But for what I've seen,
it's a pretty deep roster for corners, though.
Yeah,
it's a really deep roster.
Yeah, but the guys from, I forgot that one guy. He's from I think he was Virginia Tech or whatever. He's pretty cool, But otherwise than that, man, I don't really see. Okay, you got Samuel Jr. I think he's going to be a great corner because his father was a great corner.
Jr.
Yeah, and I think
his height is the issue, but I think he's going to be fine. He's going to be fine in this league.
Yeah. But he'll go to a team that's got a culture, and they're gonna bring the best out of him. See, that's a main thing right there about these young players. You got to come in with a culture. You can't come in like I got kind of mad when they got rid of what's his name? They didn't pay what's the wide receiver number 15 that they just got rid of?
Who? Aguilar?
Aguilar called them out, and they didn't want to pay, but he went out there and balled out last year. He did, but he did call him out because I think that don't go along in their locker room. They go in there, they start throwing their little equipment around. It's sad, and it's nobody up in there to hold nobody accountable.
And that's why I say about Gruden.
Yeah,
he gets to a press conference. He gets to a press conference and he gets there and he beats around the bush with questions. That's why I cannot wait till the season start. Now I have a soundboard. So we can hear that press conference and see how many times he beats around the bush. Because I could pull up a few games after those close losses that we had. I can tell you he beats around the bush.
Yeah.
With questions. Yeah. He don't hold nobody accountable. Remember when he said that he's going to have some input on that defense to help Paul Guttner? He never did that shit.
He didn't even care. He didn't care about the defense. They got some guys in free agency and stuff like that. That's one thing I'm tired of. I'm tired of them going out every year trying to find a free agent to fit the team. You can't keep bringing people in without a steady culture. You bring it every time you turn around. We got free agent. We got a team full of free agents. Got a team full of free agents. We don't have a team that's already got a nucleus, and you know what I'm saying, and we're stable in the core, like and people know who we are and how we play, and you can fit into this scheme like that. It's like you and if you could do your thing like you was doing your thing in Seattle, or if you was doing your thing like you was doing you got to have a culture to make sure that these people, when they come in, they fit into a culture like a puzzle. They fit into your culture, and you could grab the talent up out of them and put it on the field, and we can win some games. Instead of, just bringing people in and getting free money. Antonio Brown, I think he came in and see what was going on. So I'm out of here. I ain't gonna stay here for this.
That's why I think people want to say, oh, FAB, the way things went down. Yes, he had his antics while he was here. But when he got here, he seen how the culture was. And that's some things that's what I've been saying. We don't see what happens behind the scenes. Yes, he did say the frostbite and the helmet issue. He hasn't had a helmet issue when he went to New England. He didn't have a helmet issue when he went to Tampa Bay. Come on, man.
It was something deeper than that. It was something way deeper than what there was the media and everybody was portraying. Like, oh, he's crazy and all that.
I think it was a behind the scenes thing. Even though Mike Mayock suspended him for not coming to practice, but it was a reason. It was a reason why AB acted the way he acted. Even though they say, oh, it's Tom Brady's the reason why AB didn't act out. But that year that he was with the New England Patriots for that couple of days,
he balled out.
You didn't hear nothing out of him. He balled out that one game.
I don't think he respected John Gruden. I don't think he respected John Gruden, and he wanted out. After he, because if you just walk away from $30 million, that's a lot of money, man.
Yeah, he walked away from $33 million to end up getting a 1-year deal with the Patriots and the Buccaneers and end up winning the Super Bowl. So who really got the slap in the face?
That's for real.
Me.
That's what I think, man. It's crazy. There's something going on my home. It's like how you got rid of Jackson, Gabe Jackson, and in the center. And, these dudes been like the core of our line and everything. But it's like it's not like if you're not going to buy his way, you got to go. Right. So you got to get up here. You got to get up out of here. I can't. If you're not stroking his ego, or I'll trade you. I'll get you up out of here. I can't deal with this. Saying he's not my kind of guy. But you got to bring guys. Football players, a lot of football players come with baggage. So you got to learn psychology and how to deal with certain players and everything. Especially in Las Vegas. Las Vegas is a cold town, man. That's a crazy place. So you got to have people that's stable, and you got to have a culture that says that stay away from all this and stay away. That's why I'm like, I'm worried about Josh Jacobs. He got into that car accident. Like, what's going on with him? People don't understand. These are young players with millions of dollars. But if you don't got a stable culture to say that if you mess up, we'll deal with it one time. But if you mess up again, we gotta let you up out of here. But stroking egos and he's saying, like Derek Carr lives next door to me and all that stuff, man, that don't mean nothing, man. This is a business at the end of the day, and you will be gone, you'll be traded or whatever. But all that I love you, man, I love you. That stuff don't mean nothing, Put the product on the field that everybody wants to see instead of sitting around here trying to be a dramatic soap opera all the time. I can't stand that stuff, man. For real.
So, shout out to my guy Ryan Robinson coming on here, man. He's back on the show with us today. What's going on, brother?
Oh, I'm just here chilling, man. Got off work. I got my Raiders gear on today, a little bit of it.
All right, so I just want to get into this. He said, Resurrect says you can't blame John Gruden for everything. You can't blame John Gruden for Antonio Brown situations, but it's our culture. It's not just the coaching. It starts with the GM. It starts with the locker room. What was being given to Antonio Brown in that situation?
Yeah.
I just feel like, in my opinion, the frostbite, the helmet situation,
he was trying to find a way.
It was something that we don't know about. That's all I'm saying. Y'all, that's why y'all saying FAB in the chat, but y'all have to see it from an optimistic mindset. What really ran AB out of the Raiders organization? Yes. When do you ever see AB miss practices on other teams? Think about that. It's always something clear on why AB did what he did to leave the Raiders. It's something behind the scenes. I don't know what it is, but it's something behind the scenes.
Well, it's more than just Antonio Brown, right? We've had Ronnie Hudson himself, our cornerstone on our line. He asked out, and as well as Trent Brown wasn't feeling it, obviously. Gabe Jackson, like
he said, Trent Brown said he felt like he didn't fit.
There might be a culture issue, and we don't see the inside, right?
Yeah.
So it does. Yeah, it trickles down. Any type of leadership, and it trickles down. Whatever's going on in the Raiders organization. I think it could start at the top, like you said, like it could be the owner. Like what's he got going on? Is he just giving? Gruden has so much room, and this 10-year contract, $100 million. Gruden's running the show, right? I think Gruden's too focused on being cool instead of winning football games. That's one of my opinions. You know what I'm saying?
So somebody said that why didn't it turn out with Mike Tomlin in Pittsburgh? Could you ask that? The same thing that happened with Le'Veon Bell. The Pittsburgh Steelers did not want to pay their players. Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown was the best tandem with Ben Roethlisberger in those years. Antonio Brown was getting underpaid while he was the best wide receiver in the league that year. Le'Veon Bell was the best running back in the league that year and was getting underpaid. That's why things didn't work out in Pittsburgh.
And he held out.
And he held
a whole
out
year out. Mm-hmm.
A whole year. And now he's paying for it, but Pittsburgh just should have paid him. That's all.
At least came to, a friendly contract, pay him close to what he's worth,
Right.
Hey, right. I don't know, man. But
Zach said he racked up over $200,000 and he missed practices and team meetings. But AB has not done that with any other team. That's what I'm saying to y'all.
It's all about respect.
He has not done that with any other team. He haven't missed a practice this year since he came back into the NFL with the Tampa Bay Bucks. Didn't do that for the New England Patriots. And the only reason why he's not with the New England Patriots is because of that whole sexual assault or scandal thing that he went through. Yeah. Well, just imagine if he would have stayed on the Patriots that year. Just imagine.
One thing I can say is Gruden, they're not scared to pay guys. They really will. They'll go into free agency and pay guys. That's one thing the Raiders have been known for over span of time. Like when we took we picked Moss up when he was over 40 and he had a great year. 02, I was a baby back then. But I still watch the games. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not afraid to pay guys no matter how old they are, veterans, etc. They will pick them up. That's Raiders family, right?
Yeah, I mean, I just feel,
man. We love free agents too much, man. We always going up instead of trying to draft and develop these guys, man. Draft and develop and save. But look at the coach, man. The coach always got a big cap space. They don't go out and spend all that money on people all the time, man.
Colts is homegrown.
But you got to think about it too, though. I don't have no problem with draft and develop, but when you don't have no veterans and you're trying to win football games, draft and develop, that's like rebuilding every year. So that's why most NFL teams go into free agency, because they want to bring some veteran players in to help out to get their teams over the hump. Now, what the Raiders have done lately is overpay for players, but they have been doing well in the last couple of years. But those years in the early 2000s where we overpaid for so many players in the early 2000s, it was terrible.
I don't want to open old wounds, but we're not scared to pay free agents, but we couldn't pay Mac. I'm just like I know I'm not trying to take it there. I know we got some good picks for it. But
see with Mac, if we would have never traded Mac, do you think we would have Josh Jacobs right now?
No, we probably wouldn't.
Right.
So that's why I see the good side.
I just feel like Mac didn't want to play for Gruden, or Amari Cooper didn't want to play for Gruden.
Mm-hmm.
Those did not want to. That's why.
Why? What is it about Gruden that people do not want to play for it?
Did you see right when Gruden came in? Did you see right when Gruden got signed that $100 million deal? Did you see Khalil Mack hold out after he got signed?
But why though? Why would he say, man? I'm
telling you, it's something behind the scenes. I don't know what it is, because Mack never asked for a trade. He just wanted to get paid.
He just woke up one day to a trade.
He just woke up one day to a trade. It's sad to say, but people say, "Oh, Amari Cooper was not good with us." Yes, he had some bad years, but at the same time, if Amari Cooper would have played in Gruden's office, we probably wouldn't be looking at a number one receiver.
Wouldn't he?
We probably be looking at a number one receiver.
Look at it like this: Derek Carr got a couple of wide receivers paid. He got. Every time they come to the Raiders, they free agent and whatnot. That's one thing about Derek. He do get his wide receivers paid when they go elsewhere and whatnot and stuff like that.
Every time.
He make them look good, And people try to jump on Derek, but it's not his fault. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's a team thing. He need to clean up some things that he do, throwing the ball into the ground on third down. That stuff is ridiculous, man. Not running around and scrambling, and I don't know what it is with him and Groove. They be telling him, that, look, get the ball out your hand, even if they drop the ball with it, and put it in place it like this, but Derek just needs to do his own thing. He know how to play football. He needs to do his own thing, get out there and be a man and say, you know, like Rich Gannon used to do. Tell him to just be quiet, and shut up. You know what I'm saying? Just let me do what I got to do.
And that's the problem with today's NFL when it comes to coaches. A lot of players don't speak up, and I feel like what happened with Khalil Mack, what happened with Amari Cooper, what happened with Antonio Brown, what happened with Trent Brown, what happened with Nelson Aguilar, to name more. If you say something and try to hold accountability for your coaches for doing something wrong, or tell them shut the hell up or something like that, they might be scared they will be out the door.
I think that's one of the issues.
Why do you think Nelly didn't get re-signed? Why do you think Nelly didn't get re-signed after that whole debacle came out about having players hold accountability? They wasn't going to play Nelly after that. Come on.
This thing if the Raiders traded Derek to the Miami Dolphins, how you think they'll look right now? They'll look great.
They'll look great.
They'll look great.
They'll let him sling the football.
He's a great quarterback. He's just caged. He's chained up with Gruden's system. You know, he don't know how to. You know, he got all his verbiage. I can't stand that verbiage. He got all this verbiage and he run the same plays over and over. You can see it. I play Madden, man. I sit there, I could call his plays out. Like, man, I could be a defensive coordinator. This dude right here run the same plays and all this verbiage. What is all that about?
Yeah, the verbiage is a little bit too much for me. Like sometimes some verbiage just need to be like make it simplified. Yeah, simplify, because you can say all this verbiage and all this is an affirmation up the middle. That's all it could be.
Yeah, just name the play, give it to Josh.
Right. Just give it to Josh.
Oh, wow, man. That's how you gotta say, man. All that he called out his wife, Kelly, and all that other stuff. Quit doing all that stuff, man. Just do you, man. Just be the best player that you can be.
Then they had audibles that were named after like old school basketball players and stuff.
Kobe, that's a rest in peace, man. But man, you know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous, man. It's like he wants to show more than he wants to win. You know, he wants to be up under the lights in Las Vegas and be the top dog, but at the same time, you gotta win. The people in Las Vegas ain't gonna put up with that. He gonna be up out of there in a minute. This ain't Oakland. Oakland to put up with it. You know what I'm saying? They'll put up with it and say, okay, well, we'll see. But in Las Vegas is like New York and like, you know, Chicago and stuff like that. That's a big city. People want to win. They want when they start playing those games, like you gotta pay like 9,000, you know what I'm saying, for those luxury seats and all that. Man, people ain't gonna go up there to see you lose.
Right. We didn't move to Vegas to have losing seasons. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, man.
So Zach says you bring up a good point. There's something that we don't know about Gruden. I'm not throwing in the towel yet. Gruden has to go at least 9-7 next year. If he doesn't, no. I'm taking it higher than that. It's a higher standard. He got at least to win 11 or 12 games this year. He's going to have to.
Let's get us to the playoffs, baby.
They got to win 2 playoff games.
I'm not going for 9-7. That's an understatement for me. That is no. The lowest I'll probably go is 10 or 11 wins.
Look at the Browns.
Double digit.
We can't keep settling for mediocrity. You know, like we are a winning franchise, and we deserve to be at least getting winning seasons, right?
Right.
It's been too long.
We deserve to be in the AFC Championship game every year and Super Bowl every year.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's the goal for every football team. If you talking about, we just trying to get to a playoff, that's it. That's all you want to do. That's ridiculous, man.
Part of it is a team. I think we started getting like content, like we had arrived at 6-4. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Maybe if we were 10-0, you know, maybe we did arrive at 10-0. You know, something's happening there. You know, but doesn't mean you go into your 11th game thinking you arrived. We need to be hungry all 17 weeks. You know, hungry on the bye week. You know, working double practices, something. You know, like getting after it. I miss not being able to like see, you know, them practicing and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, leave the dog alone, chat. Leave the dog alone.
Oh shit! You all hear my dog?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
He barking, telling like the Raiders got to go at least 12, 13 wins this year. He's telling us off right now. So
my pups want him to win too.
The dog wants to just win too as well.
Let me see if I could get my Mike not to catch that. 1 sec.
Yeah.
He's just working on his audio. But D-Guest says, we are a wild card team with a 12-4 record. I don't care what our record is, as long as we make the playoffs. I'm not selling for 9 wins. I'm not selling for it. We went from 4-12 to 7-9 to 8-8. That is not a. I need a drastic improvement in his 4th year here.
We gotta stop losing at the end of the season, though, man. We get to the the 8th game of the season, and we just start sliding. I mean, every year we start sliding down. You know, we beat a playoff team in the Saints Monday Night Football. That was amazing, man. I think we could beat anybody. I don't
know where the aggressive play calling went in the second half of the season. I don't know where it went. I don't know what happened in the second half of the season, man. It was just we had the second weakest schedule in the second half of the year. The second weakest schedule. And we could have been we could have been 13-3. For real. We could have been 13-3 with the way our season went last year. 12-4, I would have been satisfied with that because my prediction last year was 10-6 and make the playoffs, which is still not bad.
10-6 wouldn't get us in, right? From what I saw.
Now 10-6 wouldn't get us in. Look what happened to the Dolphins.
Yeah, wild.
But
so
not even wild card
together.
And then we beat Kansas City. We beat Kansas City. That was for the first time in like 4 years or something like that. We beat Kansas City at Kansas City. Everybody all hyped up and like, man, we could have do it. We could. And
should have got them twice.
We could have got them twice. They didn't want to be aggressive enough to do all, you know what I'm saying, to stop it, stop Holmes on the last play. I'm like, man, this is just sad, man, to do wide open, Kelsey wide open.
Young blood, you right on point with that. When we lost the teams that we could have easily
beat.
We could have honestly, I don't know how. I understand how we lost to the Patriots. I understand that because we couldn't stop the run to save our damn life. 250 yards on the ground against 2 guys that don't even average 1,000 yards rushing in the season.
Well, what's his name? The bald head dude that was
Rex
running
Burkhead,
all over. Burkhead. Oh, yeah.
Rex Burkhead and James White. They made us look like
getting us. There. That was wild. I really couldn't believe it when it was happening. I was like, we'll stop this run. You know, they're probably going to run.
Yeah. Uncle Joe been here since I've been doing the live play-by-plays. He sees that I go off on this defense.
I had to tap in one time, man. I had to tap in with you. You know what I'm saying?
I'll be throwing my head. I'll be ready to just throw everything because, like, it was so frustrating doing those live streams where we got blown out by the Falcons, when we got decimated by the Patriots, and then the whole Jets game in itself. Even though that we won that game, I was still pissed that we was in competition with the Jets. Out of all teams, we would definitely stooped down to our we definitely played down to our level.
We really lost that game for real though. The way they were playing, we lost that game.
I feel like they threw that game like for draft picks. They tried to do it very unobvious. The corner that they put on Henry Ruggs, his speed was like a 4.6. Like I'm not even kidding you. Like like it was wild. We won it. I was like, cool, but I'm not gonna lie. At that point, before that, like I would turn it off. I was so mad. I thought we were about to lose to the Jets. Right. And then I got a noti on my phone. I was like, hey, I was still happy, but still a little sour.
You should have seen my reaction in here, Ryan. You should have seen my reaction in here.
Man.
Uncle Joe was in the chat. All I did was throw my head down just like this. I got up, changed my jersey, and put on a Nike t-shirt. That's exactly what I did. I was so mad at that. And then when I did that, Carr throws a touchdown to Ruggs. And I'm sitting there like, are you kidding me?
You grabbed your hat all slow real quick.
I don't think I put the hat back on. I don't think I changed anything. I still went off because it was the Jets.
100%. Yeah, exactly, man. That's like you get that sense of relief, but still you're like, man, like what was going on in that game, you know?
And they ran all over us too with a bunch of no-name running backs. Frank Gore didn't have that good game, but it was the other running back. I don't even know his name. He was going off on us too.
Like in the first half, he was gone in the first half. You know what I'm saying? Him and Arnett hit. They both got concussions. He was out of here. You know, he was gone, and he was like, okay, well they can't run the ball.
I think Cleveland Farrell got concussion in that game, didn't he?
He was out.
He was out in that second half. See, Cleveland Farrell played well in the first half. Second half, we just threw it away.
As soon as they knew he was out, man, they were like, We're gonna run it like crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really teams got him on notice for sure. Him and Crosby, they got him on. They got both them on notice for sure. And they know Higgins is a run stopper.
The Dolphins game. How y'all feel about the Dolphins game from last year? Talk about it, y'all. Listen, we talking Raider football. Listen.
Yes, sir.
That Dolphins game was just another one that I wanted to throw my hat and change my jersey that game to. Just because only John Gruden, man. You tell Josh Jacobs to slide at the goal line, knowing that we will be up 6, right? We'll be up 6. So that means the Dolphins have to go score a touchdown instead of going to kick a field goal. But you know what we do? We slide, we kick the field goal, and we were only up, 2 at that time? We only up 1 or 2 at that time? They go right down the field, kick the field goal, and win the game. This is why I say what I say about Gruden.
That's soft.
Yes, I didn't like the play call in there. Oh, Michelle, thank you so much, Michelle, for coming in. I know you got to get back to work. Love the lives. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much for coming in. Really do appreciate it. Show love. Peace out. Have a good day at work. And that's where we had to get rid of Arden Key too, because Arden Key had the face mask.
Oh, big. And granted, I think he kind of got a little bit held there, but it doesn't matter. He grabbed on to Fitzmagic's face, man. Don't matter if he was held or not, then they're not gonna see that. All they're gonna see is Fitzmagic's head sideways and him throwing a ball.
And did Miami start the game with Tua in that game too?
Yeah. They subbed him out because they couldn't score. Fitzmagic came in and he's a gunslinger. You know, you see him going around the league.
Joe, same thing for the Chargers game. The week after the Miami game, I thought Gruden would have learned his lesson from the week prior, but you go into overtime with Marcus Mariota at the goal line, and you don't go for it on 4th down.
Just kick a field goal. We'll win.
You got the worst defense in the league. The only defense I can say that had a worse defense than us was the Detroit Lions that last year. There's no way.
Barely.
Right. There's no way you kick a field goal in overtime. What? No way. No way.
Which game was it where we finally fired Paul Gunter though?
Was it after the Chargers game?
Was it after the Falcons game or Chargers?
I think it was the Chargers or the Miami game. It was one of those games.
That was Miami.
Miami? Best thing that ever happened to us in the last 2-3 years. Well, when did Paul Gunter start?
Since Gruden got here.
Yeah.
3 years.
I got so much faith in Gus Bradley though. Like it's looking up.
After the Colts game, he got
after fired. The Colts. Oh, yep. It was the Colts game. Yeah, they ran all over us too.
Oh, they did it bad. We could have
beat the Colts, though. We could have beat the Colts.
Oh yeah,
we could have beat the Falcons. We could have beat the Patriots. Like those. I mean, even though the Colts was the best teams out of those 3, we could have beat Miami. Like we could have beat the Chargers again. Like it's games that we could have. That's 5 games that we could have won.
That's play calling, man. They go up in there. I don't know if they go up in there. What do you say before the games or whatever or something like that. But they look so flat when they come out. Sometimes they look so flat, like we're just here so I can give you a paycheck. And I'm gonna just go home. I'm not really, you know what I'm saying. If we win, we win. If we lose, we lose. It's like they don't have like a winning mentality. Like, we going in here, we're gonna take this, man. We're gonna take this. You look at other teams. They be ready to win. They be wanting to win stuff. You know, when Baltimore goes somewhere, they want to win. You know, when the Buffalo Bills go somewhere, they want to win. You know, even with the Saints or even the Chargers, they want to win. So they have that attitude, like they want to win something. And we go up in there like, oh well, we're just here. You know,
it's that feeling like we arrived, like we're doing good. You know, like and also when it comes to like our defensive woes. That's one thing, but we also had we weren't perfect on offense, and we can't ask for perfection, right? You know, we can strive for it, and I think, every time Carr was having a bad game, it always stemmed from the whole like we spoke about yesterday. The whole team was just like you know like Uncle saying, like it's just they just didn't show up to play, and where's the fire in your belly? They attribute it to not having fans in the stands. If you guys watch the press conferences afterwards, the one they said, the fans in the stand. Well, you need to want to win for each other, for the team, and you know.
That's an excuse if you say about the fans in the stands. Understand it might make an impact, but you still got to go out there and play games. We was in a COVID year. Like, come on, y'all.
Oh, we're all watching. You know, like we're there. You know, eyes on everything. You know, like, and I think it's gonna be better, like for us when we can be there. You know, in person at Allegiant. You know, for some games. You know what I'm saying? But it comes down to rotate around back to the culture. Like some days are hot, you know, we go in there, we're gonna win, we're playing a good team, and then we show up to the Falcons game and it's like no one showed up. You might as well it looked like junior varsity.
Shout out to H Air Maker saying there's a new free agent available that could help. Pittsburgh cut their starting corner and Aldon Smith is still available. I don't think we need to go after Aldon Smith. I think Aldon Smith, we had him for a couple years here that he was not able to play. I think we addressed our defensive line, y'all. I think we addressed it to a point. Now, going about getting a corner, I'm good with that. Going to get a veteran corner and a veteran safety, I'm good with that. So how do y'all feel about that, though?
We need that.
Outside of Sherman, who are y'all feeling? Like, trust me, I'm all for Sherman. I don't know, is he trying to get paid or whatnot? You know, like even if he is trying to get paid, at least meet him halfway, something. You know, because I think he could definitely bring some fire, put some fire in the belly of these cornerbacks.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And me and Uncle Joe said that earlier before you came on, that he will come in and give some of these corners some humble freaking pie.
Yeah.
Because these guys think because they made it in the NFL, they want to wear their chains out there during the game and think it's not going to do that. Sherman's not going to do that.
You start wearing a chain when you're an all-pro, you know, whatever.
Yeah. That's the league should put a rule there for that.
Yeah, till you win the Super Bowl and have multiple Pro Bowls, then you can wear a chain on the field.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? All that dyeing, you got Arnett dyeing his hair red, his jersey.
Oh, man. I know they're trying to be their own person and they're trying to have their identity, but you know, have your identity and your technique.
So Casey Hayward is still out there too. He's a former Charger. Which I don't know Casey Hayward. If Sherm ain't there, I would love to bring in people that's experienced in this defense. Mind you, that cover 3 is what they played in with the Chargers. That cover 3, Casey Hayward is one of the. I was surprised when the Chargers released Casey Hayward. I was surprised at that. So if we could get him on a 1-year deal, not no more than $4 or $5 million, then we wait till next year when the salary cap goes back up and then end up paying him and have him for longevity. Because Casey Hayward is still in his 20s. He's not that old.
26, 27?
About 26, 27. So he's still young, but he has some good veteran, and he's got more speed than Sherman. So, but Sherman, I know Sherman's a little bit different as far as like putting a fire under corners' asses, but Casey Hayward's a shutdown corner. He's a shutdown corner to me.
100%. He's got the technique, he's got the know-how, you know, and he's been in this system. You know, I think the way the system's going to simplify things, but it's not too simple as in, you know, offenses can just figure it out, you know, in a day, in a 2 days, and, you know, 3 weeks, you know, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 16 weeks, doesn't matter. It's going to evolve. Gus Bradley he adds stuff to his scheme, but it's still simple.
Oh, he's 31. It don't look like he don't play like he's 31.
Is he 31?
They saying that he's 31, but he don't play like he's 31. I'm sorry. Listen, listen, as Raiders fans, we see the Chargers twice a year. Casey Hayward does not play like he's 31. He doesn't. I thought he was younger than that.
I did too.
Hey guys, man, I go though, man. Thanks, you know what I'm saying? Great talking to you guys, man. I'd love to see you guys later on some other time.
All right, man. Thanks, Uncle Joe, for coming in here, man. Appreciate it.
Later, Uncle Joe.
Raider Nation for life.
All day, baby. All day. But yeah, man, last year he played bad, but you got to think about the defense in itself for the Chargers. Paulistine 820, that's what you say. He played bad. There's no Derwin James back there. His other starting corner was out. Bosa was out. Ingram was out. That front line was injured. So yeah, and no matter where you play it, any corner is going to struggle when your top players are gone for the year at that. So
any corner is going to struggle when there's no pressure on the quarterback. The quarterback can have all the time in the world, and he can make an all-pro corner look like trash if he ain't, if there's no pressure. And if the quarter, because quarterbacks they most of them are pretty accurate. Like the top 1 to 16 quarterbacks, it starts digressing. But most of them, you got enough time, clean pocket, shoot. I guarantee you, Spotlight and I could probably throw a pretty good ball to a receiver. They got all that time in the pocket,
Facts. Let me see here. I'm working. Call me back. I need to put my phone on do not disturb sometimes, but I try not to because it might be an important call that might come through. So, but I'll be getting mad calls during these shows. But earlier, I don't know if you saw the show earlier, but I did mention how I saw on RaidersWire.com where if Nick Martin does lose the job out to Andre James, he is interested in doing anything to better the team and play guard. He played left guard and right guard in college before he got playing center. He played center his whole career with the Texans, 64 games in 4 years with the Houston Texans.
He was a second round pick out of the 2016, right?
Yeah. So I mean, I feel as though like it's nothing like a versatile offensive line where you have different players play different positions on the offensive line. I think that makes it more easier for us, for defenders that's in front of us. So how do you feel about that? Nick Martin stating that even though if he lose the job to Andre James, he wouldn't mind doing anything to better the team. How do you feel about that?
Well, I think diversity in our offensive line is key. Like being able to have Nick Martin, if he has to take a snap at center, or if he has to swing out to right or left guard, is versatile. That's what kept us not from being in shambles last year, was the versatility of our line. And Tom Cable's been doing an excellent job. I mean, all things throughout COVID, throughout injury, everything. He's really kept them together in a beautiful way, and they click. Like regardless. I think we're gonna be geared up and ready to go week 1. And Nick Martin swinging out to right guard, left guard, I wouldn't be surprised, and it's him still being able to back up, and I still want him to see him like getting snaps in, a practice and whatnot, because we still need that backup center. So he's going to be on the line for sure. I especially he started he had a lot of snaps every year. He ain't missed many games. The best ability is what? Availability.
Best ability is availability.
Yes, sir. Yeah, exactly.
Best ability is availability, and I think that's what you bring to Nick Martin. Like if he's going to be available at that guard position, just in case if somebody go down, you can slide him down. He could help it be a depth piece at a different position. And plus, they talked about us as a possibility. We might be getting Tevin Jenkins at that 17 spot out of Oklahoma State. So bringing him in with Simpson still being there. I'm not a big fan of Sam Young. I think Sam Young needs to go. Brandon Parker still needs to develop. I'm not going to try to give up on Brandon Parker just yet. So we have an offensive line, but I'm still looking for I'm looking for the Tom Cable magic, man.
Tom Cable, we were out there at USC, right? Looking at Elijah Vera Tucker, right?
Yeah.
And so we need to take a look at all these guys. I think we need to take a look at Slater's. Shoot, go look at Penny Soul just to see. I mean, I don't think we're gonna get that, man. But we got to take a look at all these guards. Go all the way. Anyone that has a first, second, third round grade, and really see what value we can get at them in what with the picks we got, because we got. I think we got a pretty good draft order this year. Yeah. And like I said yesterday, I really can't wait for this draft because it's going to be interesting. We have 2/3 again back to back, which I don't know how many teams have had that happen 2 times in a year. I'm sure it's not unheard of, but that's pretty cool. Tevin Jenkins, he's got push, he's got power. He can really boost the power of our run, and I can see that. I could also see that in a couple other players. Slater, he's more fit for guard, but he said he would swing out and play tackle, and he's had snaps plenty on the outside.
Yeah.
When it comes to like later round tackles, like Samuel Cosme is projected in the second, right? I really think he's big. He can be outside tackle for sure. His footwork needs work, but that's like you said, Tom Cable can work his magic.
Right.
And to taking a look at all these guys, it comes down to who's going to be the best fit for us and who wants to be a Raider. You know, if honestly, I would pass on, and call me crazy. You know, I don't care. Say Slater, slid down to us somehow. Shoot, Penny Sewell slid down to us somehow. I really don't want to force someone to be a part of an organization when they don't really want to. And I know that it probably happens more often than not. You know, these young men are getting selected for their talents, you know, but at the same time, that's what I think Gruden has been doing and Mayock has been doing. Mayock, that man can sniff talent. You can kind of tell which drafts Mayock was in more control of over Gruden, right?
Right.
I would say draft for them a want and a need for like they want to be a Raider. They're actually interested in coming to Vegas, and I think there is some appeal to it. The culture issue has and it's up in the air. What's going on? These guys don't want to go to Vegas. Why? You know, they're getting paid good money, right? And it's tax free.
Right. That's the thing that I'm nervous about. Like, it's all these players out there. I know the cap is not at its best as well. It's not at its best, but to get all that money is no tax. You got to think about that. I don't know if it's because of the culture or what, but if I'm an NFL player and I'm on the market, I'm going to at least take a look at Las Vegas. If I'm an NFL player.
Because just like the Kenyon Drake signing, like we were the most interested in signing Kenyon Drake, and like Gruden was very interested. Like they kept back and forth for offers, and they came to terms, and he was excited. He seems pretty excited to come out to Vegas and be, have a tandem, just a dual-headed dragon out there running it down their throats, and I can't. That's going to be a force to be reckoned with. We got to obviously solidify our line. A lot of individuals saying we ain't going tackling the first or whatnot. Regardless, like I said yesterday, we need to knock it out of the park.
Right. It's got to be one of the best drafts in years under John Gruden. It got to be one of the. It's too many people. It's too many great players out in the draft right now that we can go get with all these picks. No matter where we get them at in the draft. It's still good. It's still a lot of good depth and good players, no matter what round we're picking. And we got to take the best player on the board. Me personally, after we do our third round picks, I think from 1 to 3, we have to hit the lotto between 1 to 3 picks.
And then after that, we go with
some
risk.
The needs and depth of what we had between 4 and 6, so we don't have a 7-round pick anymore. So. They got to ace this. They got to ace this. If I see them reaching again, it's going to be a problem. And hopefully Micah Parsons gets to the second round because that guy ran a 4.39 today.
You think Micah Parsons will make the second round? I think he's going to be gone in the first, brother.
Only reason why I won't say he won't be gone in the first because he sat out this whole football season due to COVID.
True. Yeah.
He didn't play at all. So you only got film from him from his sophomore season, not his junior year. So that's why I think he's dropped.
Do you think Gruden's really going to go after guys that sat out? Think that's not beyond him, or I'm not saying they're not great football players. It's just he wants guys that love football, right? I'm not saying they don't. I know they have their personal reasons why they didn't.
Right.
But
I think he will because he don't have no injury history. And I think
he is solid. Yeah.
He's solid, to a point where he don't have no injury history. He got better every year at Penn State. This freshman year was a terrible year. His second year, his stock went up in his sophomore year.
Elevated.
Just imagine if he would have did in his junior year. So I don't think Micah Parsons is a top 10. I think he could go between 11 and 18. So I think he's in that range. He's not a top 10 player because of he's setting out, but at the same time, that 4.39 might bring his staff stop might back up.
That's a big body going real fast.
It's a lot going, like with the pro days, stock is going up, stock is going down. Like with the guy Cosme from Texas, his stock is going up from what he ran his 40 and what he bench pressed. So yeah, it's going to be up and down stock this year for the draft. But Michael Parsons is a person that should at least be on the Raiders board if he falls.
100%. If he makes it to the second and we're there on the clock, I'm gonna be screaming for that Gruden to get that pick in, Mike Mayock to get that pick in, because that'd be wild. The thing is, we also need the defensive interior. I think we need to go interior, but at the same time, maybe we don't. Like, I really like the guys that we have signed off free agency. Like, I'm really feeling Solomon Thomas, Darius Philon, who's the other boys we got? David Irving, but we had him last year. I like what we're doing in the interior,
right.
And when they're young, they're not over 30, that's for sure. They got plenty of gas in the tank. It's whether or not they want to go out there and get it. These other younger guys. Who's that? Isaiah. I don't even want to. Isaiah Wilson. Oh. I don't know if you've heard him. As some people think we're gonna go out there and resurrect this young man's career, like that's why I'm stuff like that is why I'm with Gruden going out and getting his guys, character guys that love football. I'm with it to an extent, but at a point you need to go out and get, you need to just go out and draft for skill, for athleticism, for people that are just playing really good football, right?
Yeah.
The pick with Damon Arnett last year, it really caught me off guard. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I can understand that he's going out and getting his guys, the character guys, people that want to play, want to be a Raider, right. and I'm all for that. But this draft needs to be great. At the very least, an A. I don't need an A+. I don't need, S+ or something crazy, but I want it, And yeah. The glaring need of right tackle has really it has really put like a lot more stock on people ahead of us going for these tackles, because they're gonna know what we want. Are we gonna trade up for it? And I think we could probably go up a couple spots, and nothing super, not nothing that breaks 10, but we could get up there to go get our guy, if we need to.
Yeah. But I don't see us moving up at all. I don't think Gruden and Mayock see what they want to move up, because 17 is really a good spot. I think we kind of had like around that range last year, and we got some good players at that spot. But you never know with the draft. Some players that go high didn't mean to go high. Some players that go low don't mean to go low. So it's going to be a very unpredictable draft for all NFL teams because of no real scouting combine that we can actually look at. We only can look at pro days. Yep. So we got to look at every single pro day from every single college to look at who is going to be the best available at 17. Now, if Tevin Jenkins and those guys go higher than 17, I am going to be mad. Tevin Jenkins, that's the guy that I want. Slater, Darisaw. There's a few offensive tackles that I want.
Which tackle would you be okay with actually moving up for it? That's what I'm not saying I don't want us to, but say we had to. Say tackles started flying off 7, 8, 9. You know, not necessarily going to happen, but say tackles go left and right. You know, which guy are you comfortable moving up and getting at like say a 10 or 11 or 12? You know,
I'll
because
probably say Slater, Jenkins, but Slater would be top. But I mean, oh my God, because you got to think about Vera Tucker too. So,
yeah.
I think it'll be Slater or Vera Tucker for me. Cosme, I think he's going to be there at 17. So I wouldn't say we move up for him, but I think Slater and Vera Tucker will be the only two that I would move up, like to the 10 or the 12, the 11th or 12th spot for them, in my opinion.
And we probably would only have to give up like maybe a third and like a fifth, something along those lines to get up there.
They say in Darashaw in the chat, I watched him a few times, but I think Slater's a little bit better than Darashaw at this moment.
He's got everything you need. He's got the size. He can move inside if needed. He can go outside. He can play left tackle. He can play right tackle. He could play. He's had snaps at center. Yes, Slater has. He's had snaps at center. Not saying it's needed, but you know, the versatility in the line is always well appreciated. And we saw it last year how guys can go. You know, and our line was in shambles.
Definitely was in shambles.
Granted, Cable kept it. You know, he pieced all the you know, he kept it together. So you know, like somehow, and we still had some issues. You know, a couple blindside hits. You know, couple Carter sometimes he needs to just tuck it and take it. You know, take the hit. But a lot of those fumbles could be solved if he literally, just. You know, not give up on the play, but you're not giving up on the play, in my opinion, if you know you're going down and you just tuck the ball up. I think you're protecting the ball and playing for the next play. Now, if it's a fourth down, they, you know, do something, you know.
But yeah, man. So I really talked about everything that needs to be talked about when it comes to today's show. But at the end of the day, man, we all here for the Raiders, man. We hit and people said about Earl Thomas and stuff like that. I'm gonna say it again, and I'm gonna let it be known. Like, Raider Nation, understand that we need everything in the world on defense, but we're not getting every single person on the defense. We're not gonna be able to sign everybody. So my whole thing with Earl Thomas, and I'm just gonna leave it here with Earl Thomas. Yes, he's a hell of an athlete. I love the way he plays, but he's so selfish as a person that gives me a red flag to bring up in here. Y'all, the same thing y'all say about Antonio Brown. The same thing the Raider Nation say about Antonio Brown, you should say about Earl Thomas too. I'm just saying. The attitude stinks. And if we want to have a better culture for the Raiders, we don't want to bring in players like Earl Thomas.
Could potentially make our locker room freaking
cancerous.
Exactly, 100%. And do we really want to bring that in when we're having problem retaining guys because of what's going on behind the scenes? I don't know. That's risky, right?
It's very risky for me to. I mean, yes, I understand the whole Legion of Boom thing, bringing in Sherman, bringing in Earl Thomas to try to Legion of Boom 2.0, but one of the other will be fine by me. But I'll prefer Sherman because Sherman really didn't have no issues in the locker room. Everybody loved him. He was a coach / player on the football field. But Earl Thomas, I understand the way he plays the game. I love the way he plays the game. It's just his attitude. If he's coming in there with a selfish mindset, he's coming here to play for himself and not play for the team. That's my problem. And Bernard said it himself. He said, "Why you think no team signed him yet?"
100%.
He got released from Baltimore last year doing training camp or whatever thing. He got into a fight with one of his players. Mm-hmm. That was earlier in the year. Everybody was like, "Oh, get Earl Thomas during the season." Nobody took a chance on Earl Thomas. So why should the Raiders do it? Because we used to bringing in bad players. That got to stop.
If we want to change the culture, it's got to stop, right?
Yes, it got to stop. It has to stop. If I'm a Raiders person that works in that facility or a coach that needs to say something, listen, we don't need players like Earl Thomas. Not right now. If he changes and he wants to play for 1 year, $3 million just to show that he changed, I'm fine with taking the risk. But as of right now, no, I just don't like the character for Earl Thomas. I like the player, I just don't like the character. So Anthony says, if you could get Earl Thomas on the cheap, you do it. Keep him on a short lease. Is he act up? Cut him. But I understand that. But we sign him, and then 4 weeks later, we cut him. That's too much.
The thing with Earl Thomas is for me it'd be a possibility if there was someone like an alpha dog on our defense that's going to keep him in check, like Mac, and like I think Abrams wants to be, because he's got that swag, he's got that momentum, he does know how to pump it up, and he does know how to bring the energy, even if no one's out there, he just needs to translate that into playing football. And then not to say he goes out there and plays football. Like I was super pumped on that hit he had on McCaffrey when we were playing the Panthers. He came in there flying. I didn't even see him. He just came in there and put him on his ass, just 100% clean tackle. Stuff like that. Like I know he can bring that boom. He can bring that electric play we need on defense. And if we can have someone like that on the defense that can keep Earl Thomas in the group, make him a part of the group, and all of us come together, yeah, cool. I just don't really see that on our defense as of yet. It can be developed, and it's definitely a possibility in the future, us having that alpha dog. Just apparently it's right now, it's not right out the gate,
Right. So we have M85. He states that kick the tires on Alden Smith, can't body at very least, compete with Art and Key for 99. No, I'm trying to get rid of Art and Key. Honestly, I'm trying to get rid of Art and Key. So try to bring Alden Smith in here to try to compete with Key. That's not going to happen. I think Art and Key is going to get cut. I don't want to bring in Alden Smith. He really didn't do nothing for us because he said getting in trouble when he was with us. So I wouldn't be a big fan of Alden Smith coming back here. I think we addressed the defensive line. So I'm pretty good with that. Eddie Lento says, what happened with Tanner Muse? How do you feel about Tanner Muse?
Oh, I love Tanner Muse. I really think he's going to come in and do something this year. And if not, well, shoot, waste of a third, waste of a fourth. But I really don't think it is a waste. That man wants the ball. If you go, like I've looked at his tape back at Clemson and not just the plays where he doesn't take plays off. He don't. He's trying to gang tackle. He's trying to get there to the ball. And with his toe injury, a part of me feels like that's kind of soft, especially hearing how Max Crosby played with the 180-degree tear on his labrum.
Right.
But at the same time, if it was something that could have been a worse injury had he played, I get it. It's not like he's been out there and on and off the field. He took his rookie year off pretty much. It's going to be another Jonathan Abrams scenario where his rookie year is next year. So expect some mistakes, but hopefully not, because it's going to be a simple scheme. Simple, yet have some depth to it. I think he's going to get in there and ball out, and I want to see him out back there at a couple snaps at free safety, couple at linebacker. Maybe even he could be if not the free safety, he can be the guy that gives Abram a breather, because he likes to headhunt. That's a big boy going fast. Like he's ran a 4.4 40-yard dash. He's got some length on him. He's definitely can headhunt for sure back there.
Absolutely. And I think Tanner Muse needs to play safety. That's what he played at Clemson.
Yes, sir.
So trying to move him up to linebacker, I'm not really too big on that, but I know he has the size to play a linebacker as well. I mean, you can put him in on some situations at linebacker just to see what he could do. But I think he's going to be a baller. I think it was a good pickup for us last year. The foot injury kind of messed him up, but he's going to come back and play better next year. Now, we did talk about the rumors about Willie Snead visiting the Raiders and the whole situation with Jalen Richard possibly getting released or getting traded. It's been some more news that came out that it still teams that's interested in Jalen Richard, and Willie Snead is making a visit to the Raiders. How do you feel about those two news that came out for the Raiders so far?
I'm not too I'm not too concerned with the Willie Snead scenario. If that comes to fruition with the Raiders, I definitely see they could be some depth. Jalen Richard, he's a Raider, man. He's a Raider. He's been there. That would hurt. But if he's traded and he goes and he's an RB2 or an RB1 for another team, then go get it, Bubba. Like go get yours. Go because as it stands right now, he ain't seeing the field unless something bad happens. And we don't want to see nothing bad happen on, with our tandem duo. We got some dynamic duo, Drake and Josh,
Right.
They're going to be bringing the pain, but at the same time.
And we still got Theo Riddick on the roster as well.
Yes, sir. Yes, we do. We re-signed him for on the cheap too, and we went in last year with the five running backs on the roster too, right?
Yeah.
So four isn't a big deal. We could run Jalen Richard in the mix as well because he's a good pass catching back. But Kenyon Drake, that's a little bit of his bread and butter too, and it's been thrown in. Josh has been catching more balls too. So the way we run our system, definitely we pound that rock, and we also they're there for what people call a check down. But they can go and get those yards that we need to keep the chains moving. Jalen Richard's a Raider, man, and I would hate to see him go. But the only way I'm okay with it is if he's going and he's going to be RB1 or 2 for another team. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want him to go in and then you don't see him on the field at all because Jalen Richard has a whole bunch of talent that that has developed. Ingold is going to be back there for us too. So Ingold, Riddick, Drake, Josh, it's going to be a lot of us in that backfield. So I kind of understand because it's a business, and even though you still playing for a professional team, it's still a business thing. Especially for salary cap and money and all of that. So it'll hurt to see Jalen Richard end up leaving the Raiders, but I mean it's a business that has to happen. That's what happened with Gabe Jackson and Rodney Hudson.
Yes, sir, 100%. It's gonna hurt not as much as Rodney, but if he goes, it is what it is, right? We're gonna have more money to spend elsewhere. Hopefully on some key defensive players that we need because we're pretty set on offense. I would say our backfield is pretty stacked. Our receiver room, some of the questions are up in the air in our receiver room, but Waller's gonna ball out anyways. Waller the baller, baby.
Right. He's definitely going to be the baller there. Absolutely.
Oh man, I'm really excited to see what he's going to do for our offense next year. I think he's going to have a lot more red zone targets, because he's always available.
Facts.
They can't cover him, man. Like some of the catches he was making last year was absolutely phenomenal. And sorry.
No, my bad. They were saying any word on Cordell Patterson. I'm not a big fan for Cordell Patterson because he can play that running back position too, and I don't want to bring in another person that plays running back. Yes, he's okay at wide receiver. We did have him before with the Raiders, but I'm not a big fan of Cordell Patterson coming here.
I think our wide receiver room is pretty set, minus maybe a couple project players. Maybe in the 5th. Maybe our 6th round pick, take it, roll the dice on a couple players because we still got to see what we got in Edwards and obviously Henry Ruggs. And if it don't work out with them, we got John Brown. That's the backup, right? I mean, he's gonna be a go-to guy, but he does have injury history, right?
You can't just be popping up like that, Hammer House. Damn it, man. You just gotta let me know something. Text my phone or something, man. You killing me.
I'm like a crackhead in the night.
We have Hammer House in the building, man. What's going on?
What up, guys? I'm on break. I thought I'd jump in and spend some time with my brother and show some love to the nation.
You see, I've been looking at my phone, waiting for you to say something.
Oh, I feel so special now. Thank you, big bro. Love you lots.
Jesus Christ.
Heck yeah.
That's the second time he did that this week. I'm at the fire you behind now, man. Let me find out.
Jason Marshall, Ice Cube is in the house. Yay, yay.
Yeah, they call him Ice Cube. Before you know it, Ryan, you're gonna have a nickname here. I'm already Baby Trent. He's Ice Cube. You're gonna have a nickname. The Raider Nation is gonna find something for you. I'm telling you that right now.
I look forward to it. You can call me Ryan till then.
Make sure y'all who do Ryan look like, Raider Nation? Do he like anybody on the Raiders right now? Let us know.
He looks like Dean Ambrose.
Yo.
Got him.
Oh man. Oh, they say Hunter Renfro.
Hey,
I'll take that,
my bro.
Take the Hunter Renfro, the third
Oh
Renfro.
no!
I likes that.
Hey, I'm cool with it.
All right, so that's not Hammer's baby Suge Knight. Absolutely not.
Oh God.
They say a Jake from State Farm for you, Ryan.
Hey,
come to death row, homie.
Unit 7, do you have an extension?
Is that your microphone at work?
It's the radio. Sorry, guys.
See, he's at work and everything, but yeah, I'm going with Hunter Renfro. I'm taking it. Hunter Renfro it is.
All right.
Hunter
Renfro.
Did you hear Hammer? So did you hear about the Jalen Richard information? You know, possibly up. I don't know where you.
No,
went.
I'm here.
It's been some rumors about the update on Jalen Richard possibly looking to be traded. Because he's looking to be a RB1 or RB2 in his NFL. Which is not bad.
He's not an RB1, bro. He's not. No, he can't carry the load for a team as an RB1. Stop.
Listen. If you go to Cliff Kingsbury in Arizona, he sure can.
I just want Cliff Kingsbury's house, bro.
His house. I'm saying to you, if you look at the offense that they run in Arizona,
right,
he could be an RB1. Because Cliff Kingsbury is bringing that college offense into the NFL.
Who's the number one over there? Is it David Johnson?
David Johnson.
Not David Johnson. I'm sorry, not David Johnson. Who's the number one in Arizona right now?
It was Keon Drake until he left.
The Roadrunner.
Fuck, man.
They're looking for a running back, and we already had a recent trade with them.
Even if he's an RB2, I would take that no matter where he goes.
If he's an RB2, yeah, but if we're going to trade him, we better get some good value like we did in regards to the Hudson deal.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Are you a big fan of Willie Snead visiting the Raiders?
No.
I knew
he's
it.
a number.
Bro,
he's a number. He's been a number fucking 3 for like his whole career. No,
he haven't. He was the number 1 in New Orleans before Michael Thomas got there. And he put up good numbers with Drew Brees.
I don't see him as a number 1.
A Baltimore Ravens team where an MVP quarterback that can't throw in Lamar Jackson, that throws the tight ends 90% of the time.
I don't see him as a number 1.
What about on a good deal? You know, like only way I see us picking him up is if we get him on the cheap. You know,
I keep telling people this year's free agency, a good deal is a 1-year deal. I don't give a shit what anybody else is saying. The market, the salary cap dropped, like it decreased a decent amount. Everybody's getting 1-year deals right now, and they're getting shit on the cheap, and everybody's more or less trying to work for long-term contracts next season. So get them on the cheap, but I'm telling you now, we don't need to be breaking the bank. And you know what? To touch on contracts right now, I really, in my opinion, feel that this deal for Kenyon Drake was not a great deal at all. And I'm gonna tell you guys why. From the standpoint of right now, he's a running back 2 at best. But at the same time, we depleted our offensive line. Granted, we have Colton Miller, Denzel Good, Richie Incognito, Nick Martin. Great. We still need a right tackle, but we need an offensive line to have a decent run production from both Jacobs and Drake. We should have looked to get a veteran secondary player. We should have looked to get a legit D tackle. Shit like that is top priority right now, not an RB2. If that was the case, you would have just kept Jalen Richard.
They're going to be an RB2. They're going to be on the field at the same time.
Okay, so run. All right, you know what? Run the pro formation, run the pro gun formation. But it better make sense, and you better have the line to back that shit up so these guys can put the work in. That's my concern right now.
I think they will. Because this is my problem with a lot of Raider Nation, right? Y'all say we need an offensive line, but everybody wants to go defense at 17. Hello.
People want to go like you and I have had the conversation, and I like the idea of a right tackle unless we could find a decent. I don't even want to say decent. We need like a B or above rated right tackle right now. And then if that was the case, I would be like, okay, maybe then we can consider getting a defensive player as our 17th overall. Like I just saw this other tape on this kid out of Kentucky, Jamin Smith or Jamin Davis. Yo, the kid can play, man. At middle linebacker, he's a fucking monster. His highlight tape, I'm like, I could see him, and apparently he's being predicted as being our pick in the first round. If you haven't seen his tape, check him out.
You talking about Mel Kuypers?
I don't think we need a linebacker in the first round. I don't think we need it. It's not a need. I feel like if we really want to have Keon Drake and Josh Jacobs in this offense have a great year, is more great offensive linemen that's coming out of this first round with Tevin Jenkins and Slater and Darashaw. Those three right there is going to be first round picks in itself.
100%.
So
I wouldn't be mad if we went.
So if we so-called say we need an offensive line, that is something that we need to address at number 17.
Bro, here's the thing. Our offensive line last year was the reason we had a chance at potentially being a playoff contender. It was a defense that shit the bed, but that offensive line did so well last season. It was a defense that fucked it up for the Raiders as a whole, and it sucks now that we lost a bunch of our best guys on the offensive line. It fucking sucks.
But you have to think about it, though. Look what Tom Cable has done. No matter who's in there. Look what Tom Cable has done. Remember, we missed a few games of Gabe Jackson. We missed a lot of games with Rodney Hudson. And then we
missed a lot of games with Richie. Yep, you're right.
And he still brought in players and they still performed.
And I told you, there are guys that we still currently have on the line that I like. Denzel Good, I really like what I saw in him. When I saw Simpson play a couple of games, I like what I saw in the kid. He had a couple of good looks during the season. Right. I like what I saw out of them. If they can continue to grow and develop more under Cable as an offensive line coach, I'm all for it. Just do the job. Work your ass off and
what? People say our offensive line wasn't great because I didn't agree with Tom Cable putting in Brandon Parker and Sam Young. I don't like those. I mean, I just told Ryan that I was going to give Brandon Parker a second chance, but Sam Young has to go. Sam Young has to go. He's too damn old. He got bullied all last year.
Then he got injured last year too, right?
In the games that he played, he always got hurt.
Always came out. Yep.
So I think our offensive line is going to be good. I just think that right tackle position, get that at 17. It's a lot of safeties, it's a lot of corners, it's a lot of linebackers. We have 8 picks. 8. If we could get a safety, we could get a corner, we could get a linebacker that's still qualified in that second round.
I have a strange feeling that the Cardinals are going to be calling the Raiders again now for Richard, because I feel like they just want to. I just feel like they're starting to love guys that we had. Like oh, you guys are gonna cut this one. Let's make a deal. Like, all right, whatever.
Rashard can pull a load. He maybe not the whole load, but he can definitely be in there and be an RB2 for sure.
And I agree. I wholeheartedly agree with that. I just don't feel like he can carry the full load, like you just said. I don't believe he can carry the full load.
There's not many backs that can.
If you look at
anymore, you're absolutely right. A lot of these teams in the league run two-headed monsters now, and you know what? I've loved seeing that out of certain teams. Like my favorite tandem, and this was years ago, but you still got to give them credit. When you had Jonathan Stewart and D'Angelo Williams out in Carolina, those guys were fucking a great tandem. That's what the Raiders need. We had the conversation with free agency. I said potentially getting Carson. If we could have got Carson and fucking Jacobs, but you said that Carson is too injury prone. So I stepped back. I stepped back. I said, okay. Booker wasn't too bad last year when he was out there. He shined at times. There were a couple of times where like Jacobs was like, holy fuck, let me get back on the field before he fucking runs my fucking job. And you could clearly see his demeanor on the sideline like, nah, motherfuckers, get me back in right now.
I can't wait to see him next year with that same mentality with Kenyon Drake on the field.
Yeah. That's exactly what they're going to see. But like I said, Jacobs definitely underperformed this past season, and it broke my heart to see the numbers he put up. And I really hope he has a bounce back year this year.
Right.
He can only be as good as his line's going to be too. And
absolutely.
We had a lot of holes, you know.
Absolutely. And that's why we need to fix the offensive line immediately.
That's why I feel like if we go get an offensive alignment in the first, it solidifies the offensive line. That's the only thing that we're missing. And think about it. I said it before. I said it right before you came on. I told Ryan that even though that Andre James, he might be the starter for us at center. Nick Martin said if he loses out to Andre James, he does not mind going to playing guard. He played it in college. So we had that experience especially with Martin playing 64 games in 4 years with the Texans. That is experience in itself. So if we go out and get that right tackle, and then everything else can really be defense out of those eight out of the seven out of the 8 picks, I'm fine with that. As long as we address the offensive line, I'm good. But I think if you pass up an offensive lineman at 17, I don't think you're going to see any good offensive lineman come off the board after that.
I say go offensive line in the first round. Second round, if you guys are worried about defense, if we don't have a safety or a corner, then you look in the second round. And I'm going to keep saying the kid's name, and I don't care how y'all feel about it because he is the second best safety on the board. Go for Javon Holland out of Oregon. Best believe he'll fucking.
I watched this tape, and he's okay, but I don't think he's the second best safety on the board. I just don't think so.
I still want free agency wise. You know who I want at safety. You know who I want at safety out of free agency though.
Who do you want?
And for those that are in here, y'all could just put it in the chat. What rhymes with Booker?
I don't know why you want an injury-prone Malik Hooker.
I want him.
Vegas and hookers. It just sounds right.
For the jersey, bro. I want it for the jersey.
Come on, man.
If he signs with the Raiders, that's the next jersey I get is a Malik Hooker jersey.
Instantly, the day of, I'm gonna go on the website and put the name in and get it, like because you can't you have to literally put the name in for the new guys till they get them on stock. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, I can't name. Whoa! I can't name a first-round tackle outside of Miller. I can name one, but this is years ago. Shout out to my boy DeBrickashaw Ferguson, who was like the 3rd or 4th overall pick by the New York Jets.
But we talking about the Raiders, though.
I'm just saying in general. You want to talk first-round tackles? There's a first-round tackle. Done.
Yeah, that's true too. You could do
shout out to Freeport, Long Island.
If you want to throw out like offensive lineman in the first round, Michael Orr was one of them too.
Damn blindside.
Listen, Michael Orr was a damn good offensive lineman. Okay. Yeah, the Brickashaw Ferguson was a Pro Bowl lineman.
Absolutely.
He was a Pro Bowl lineman.
I played high school ball with that man, so I had to put it out there. Sorry.
I said it, Tevin Jenkins. Tevin Jenkins is that guy, man. I love his game tape. I love Tevin Jenkins' game tape.
Do you think Yannick will have 10 plus sacks? His numbers have not been the same the last 2 years. I hope so. I hope he bounces back.
More than 10.
I hope he bounces back though.
Yeah.
I think he's not going to have 10 plus sacks because it's going to be defensive line by committee.
Ooh, yes, sir.
It's going to be defensive line by committee. I think it's going to be
5 plus.
Right. So I don't mind if he gets less than 10. I'm not looking at one individual player.
I just want to see that whole defense eat. I want to see that defense eat. I want to see quarterbacks not wanting to take hits from us. Last year, the one game that I remember specifically when we saw that was when Drew Lock was getting fucked up against our defense. It wasn't even sacks. He was just getting put on his ass over and over and over again. I want to see more quarterbacks that we play get knocked around like that. We have pressure breaks pipes, yes, and that's what we fucking need.
Mm-hmm.
But you gotta look at it too, though. Denver had a terrible offensive line. We all knew this. Come on, it's
facts.
We're talking about.
It was still nice to see a donkey get his dick knocked in the dirt.
Oh my God.
Yes, sir.
There's only a New Yorker that talks Raider stuff. It's crazy to me.
You gotta love it, though, bro. You gotta love it.
Listen. The whole dick in the dirt thing, that's a pause for me.
One dude one of these guys just said it. He's like, yo, this dude truly sounds like Al Davis. Al Davis was born in Massachusetts. He went to high school in Brooklyn. New York in the fucking house. Yeah.
He did.
He don't even represent New York. He represents Florida. Get out of here.
Fuck that. Fuck out of here.
Florida, man. Get out of here with that.
If y'all haven't seen Al Davis versus the NFL, y'all need to go watch that.
Yeah, if you have not gone and watched that, make sure y'all do, because that was I learned some shit in there.
We just saw the Raiders defeat the NFL last week with us getting back our 6th round pick, and I know Al Davis is smiling from above.
Oh, he was happier. He's happier than shit right now. I guarantee
it. Scary how they had both of them try to look like they're walking around in Allegiant Stadium. It looks so realistic seeing their faces inside the stadium or talking and stuff like that. It looks so realistic. That was a great.
What do they call it? The deep fake, right? Deep fake,
something of that nature.
Yeah, something like that.
It was pretty surreal, man. I really like. I've actually watched it a couple times just cause, man, it's fun reminiscing. Not that I was all alive and woke for that, but my dad actually got me into looking up the history and stuff, and me and my pa watched that when it first came out.
Oh, Icy Nate, that's a good take right here. According to the Tape Don't Lie Raiders Film YouTube channel, David Irvin led the team with 83.5 career impact plays and 7.74% on impact play rate. That is good.
That's what I'm saying. I want to see him starting next year, man. I want to see him in shape. I want to see him going with him and Solomon on the inside. I'm gonna say it all day, every day. I really think that should be our starting four, and I think Max should close out games by sacking the hell out of the quarterback with a full tank of gas.
So
it depends on who we have on that front line and what our strong side is. But I would honestly say, especially for a guy like Jacobs, who's like a bruiser, I would go with zone. But I would probably go back and forth between zone and power.
Yeah, I would go power. I would go power with Keon Drake, and I would go zone with Josh Jacobs. So, that's why I said you can mix both of them in, even though that Josh Jacobs can be a decoy. You can still run that power with Drake. They're going to still have to rotate over to Josh Jacobs just because he's been getting better coming out the backfield. So
the one thing going into this past season was Jacobs pretty much was on a mission to get at least 60 receptions this past season, and we didn't get to really see it that much. And I feel like that was another reason that they brought Drake in. Drake is a really good pass catching running back out of the backfield, so I definitely think it will help. Especially, it also depends on Gruden. Are you going to make these adjustments? Are you going to stick to your old school West Coast style short passing game offense? You have to open this shit up. This is not 2000. This isn't 98, 99. You have to open this shit up now. And he's like the one dude that just doesn't seem to see it that way.
I like to think of Kenyon Drake as a better version of Jalen Richard. If that's
exactly.
Put it, you know.
No, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. You're spot on with that. Carlos, Jacobs did play good his rookie year, and I want to hear somebody prove me wrong on this shit that he was robbed of offensive rookie of the year. I don't feel fucking Murray. I don't feel Kyler Murray fucking deserved that shit.
Of course, but this is a quarterback-driven league, and they're going to get the accolades before a running back does.
It's so fucked up.
You see, it's like Landry. If you notice, look in college football. Look at the Heisman. It's always a quarterback that wins it. When the last time you really see a running back win it? Was like Derrick Henry or something like that?
Wasn't it
McFadden? Something like that. You really don't see running backs.
Did Barkley get the Heisman?
I think he was up there. I can't remember if he won it.
Heisman.
He was close.
He was close, but I don't think he got it. But
he didn't get offensive rookie of the year, right?
It's always no.
No,
I think he did.
I think Justin Jefferson should have got offensive rookie. He broke Randy Moss's rookie record, bro.
I think Herbert deserved it. I kind of felt I like the Oregon Ducks. I had a feeling that Herbert was going to get rookie of the year.
I think Justin Jefferson got robbed. I'm sorry, 1,400 yards as a rookie. You a lot of wide receivers can't do it.
Also take into consideration the Jacobs rookie year, he played hurt throughout that season, and he fucking still balled out with a fucked up shoulder.
Didn't he have a rib injury too? Oh no, yeah. I'm thinking of Renfro. My bad.
Renfro took that bad shot, but Jacobs played with a fucked up shoulder and was still putting up numbers.
We're talking about a Justin Jefferson, right? That played with everybody think this quarterback is a scrub, and Kirk Cousins. He did this numbers with Kirk freaking Cousins, y'all.
Kirk Cousins he's not absolutely terrible. He's never had no one to throw to, I think.
Right, and
Cousins is suspect. Cousins is suspect as fuck, especially for that money he's getting.
It's like right there, like.
If Herbert didn't have Keenan Allen or Mike Williams, would he would have won Offensive Rookie of the Year? No, absolutely not.
He wasn't even throwing to their number one as much.
You are Renfro.
I am Renfro. Yeah, remember when I got fucking hit right in the side of my rib cage because Carr decided to throw a screen pass a little late? I fuck with Carr. I love Carr, but he let him out. He doesn't leave receivers out to dry fucking hardly ever, but I felt like that he kind of left Renfro out to dry on that one. You know what I'm saying?
The last running back to win the Heisman was Derrick Henry. Okay.
Yeah, it was Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry.
He's absolutely right. Cousins does get a lot of hate though, and it's not like it's just the league as a whole. Like we get shitted on all the fucking time, but like people really fucking don't like Kirk Cousins.
Oh, they literally burn his jersey in fucking whatever the state that starts with an M, whatever Minnesota. Yeah, Minnesota.
Cousins is a grade below Carr.
Oh hell no!
He's like 2 or 3 grades below Carr.
No.
That's very true. Burrow definitely could have gotten Rookie of the Year had he not tore his ACL. Absolutely.
No, we're gonna have Graphk Raiders gonna come up on the show, y'all.
Is he?
I just sent him the link. My guy Doc's ENT Graphk Raider. If y'all ever hear the intro of all my intros, that is his song. Once a Raider, always a Raider.
I watched his video. I watched his video the other day outside of Allegiant, and he got me so hyped. You got
to look at the video about Trent Brown. So Trent Brown said that he said something on Twitter, and Graphk Raider put something on the video, talking about Trent. His wife was like Trent Brown is lunchtime or something like that. So Graphk Raider had this big ass belly on, and he said, "Whew, my fat ass can't even get through the door."
yo, Graphk Raider.
It was so
Graphk Raider. If you're listening right now, can you just come to Vegas and chill with us? Like, you just already sound like a dope dude.
He just bought a house in Texas.
Wait, what happened? What happened, D? What'd you say?
Yeah, Ryan's in the military.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
What branch?
Air Force.
Thank you for your service, brother.
It's a privilege, man. I appreciate it, man.
My cousin just got back. My cousin was doing contract work for like the last 3 or 4 years in Afghanistan and finally got home a few months ago. That shit was rough as fuck, man.
I'm sure he got paid, but at the same time, man, the time doesn't compare. You know what I'm saying?
That's what it was,
hell
Carlo.
no.
They say he can't fit a little snack in my fat ass. Can't even fit through the door.
I'm talking about, hey, Graphic Raider, Doc's shorts have been so classic, man. It's just been funny as fuck,
Yo,
man.
his little skits that he does on TikTok is hilarious, yo. It is hilarious.
Just check it out. Oh, here we go.
Raiders.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been real, but Hammond's got to get back to work. I love you guys. Shields up, hammer down. I'm out.
Hell yeah, brother. Go get him.